which he obviously can. I keep saying tonight, it's today. Today's game time temperature is brought to you by the Habitat Wireless Wi-Fi Thermostat. You made your apartment a home. We'll make your home your habitat. HabitatTechnologies.com. It is absolutely a beautiful day. It is.
Unexpected travel disruptions. Head over to TravelGuard.com, customize your plan, and hit the road with more confidence. Travel safe, travel smart. TravelGuard. Visit TravelGuard.com for more information.
This is a brief description of the coverages available. Limitations and exclusions will apply.
Labor's Local 731 has been responsible for some of the biggest and most celebrated infrastructure projects in New York City, like the rebuild of the World Trade Center and the new LaGuardia Airport. Local 731 provides qualified and competent laborers to fill the demand that the construction industry not only requires but deserves. Its members and leadership have fought hard for wages and benefits that open the path to the middle class that every hardworking American deserves. Labor's Local 731. Feel the power.
The family of Casamigos tequilas, Añejo, Blanco, Cristalino, Reposado, Mezcal, and introducing the new Casamigas Jalapeno. Casamigos tequila, brought to you by those who drink it. Remind you to enjoy today's game responsibly.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
Jane, I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
Or being a dog person and a cat person.
Who wants a treat? Who's your...
You're watching... Yes.
Mayhew. The defensive alignment is sponsored by Travel Guard. Prepare for the unexpected with a Travel Guard travel insurance plan. When the Yankees take their position in the field in just a few minutes, it will be Alex Verdugo in left, Aaron Judge in center, and Juan Soto is in right. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is the third baseman, Anthony Volpe at shortstop, Gleyber Torres is at second base, DJ LeMahieu is at first. And today's starting battery is brought to you by Interstate Batteries, every battery for every need. On the mound, Marcus Stroman. Behind the plate is Austin Wells. Now it's time for the keys to the game, brought to you by Audi. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today. Well, the key to this game, obviously, Marcus Stroman. Let's see if he's gotten those mechanics fixed. One of the things, if you listen to Aaron Boone, I thought maybe it was his body in the wrong place. He seems to think that he's not using his legs enough. And, of course, when you try and do anything, Giancarlo Stanton, for years, you could see was all arms. And you can't really, you don't have much back control when you have your base solidly under you. And that's pretty much what he thinks is going on with Marcus Stroman. So we'll have to see if that's what it is. Marcus had said that he thought he knew what it was, and that probably is, they don't like to talk about this stuff with you, as well they shouldn't. But I think he said it's happened to me before, and I know how to fix it. So let's see if he can. Also, Andrew Heaney. Fastball up, slider, which when he was here and threw that slider, it had no depth and ended up in the upper decks many times. But let's see if he has fixed that. So Andrew Heaney, fastball up and a slider, 4-11, 3.98. It's always going to, from here on in, it's really going to come down to pitching and who pitches better, because eventually, the other team needs to not score runs. Today's Game Time Temperature is brought to you by the Habitat Wireless Wi-Fi Thermostat. You made your apartment your home. We'll make your home your habitat. HabitatTechnologies.com. It is 79 degrees. It was pretty overcast a little while ago. Now the sun.
For Mazda CX-5, starting at just $28,987. Ramsey Mazda is a proud recipient of the 2023 President's Club Award and the 2024 Cars.com Consumer Satisfaction Award. Visit RamseyMazda.com. Get more and a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
It's the bottom of the ninth, the game's on the line, and your small business needs a loan fast. What's your move? Go to OnDeck.com, America's largest online small business lender. With OnDeck, you can apply in minutes, and if approved, get your funds as soon as the same day. Go to OnDeck.com. Your loan is on deck.
Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah chartered industrial bank. Member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
Well, Andrew Heaney is now coming in from the pen with his pitching coach and his catcher. And the umpires are on the field now. We're just waiting for the Yankees to take the field, and here they come. And they are led out by Anthony Volpe, who is he's got a bobblehead. We were just looking at this bobblehead. I guess he's in mid-throw here with the gold little glove.
They've gotten smaller. I don't know.
No. There's two sizes.
The
There's
head's the right size. The big head works still, but I don't know. And the glove is gold.
The glove is gold. We didn't get the one that's all. rehab assignment. He will be at Somerset, which is down the road here. A great facility and probably really good for him to be this close. And we are coming to you live from the Provident Bank broadcast booth. And as Josh Smith steps up to the plate here is, once again, Craig Carton.
Thank you, Susan. Going to be a beautiful day here in the Bronx. The Yankees trying to take the rubber match here after splitting the doubleheader yesterday, of course. And the story today is absolutely 100% Marcus Stroman. Obviously pushing back a start, talking about his mechanics. There's some thought that maybe he was fatigued over the last month or so. But it's a very big start for Marcus Stroman because if he wants to be in this starting rotation come postseason, this is where you start building that respect and trust from Aaron Boone and the rest of the Yankees. And leading off will be the DH today, Josh Smith. And getting ready to get this game started here, and we are now underway. Takes the first pitch for a called strike.
And the first pitch was an 89-mile-an-hour sinker. Speed's great for pitching, not for driving. Vision Zero Initiative reminds you that speeding ruins lives, so slow down.
Here's the second offering. Swung on. Sharp ground ball down to first. LeMahieu struggles with it. Throws to Stroman covering. Got him. Well, that was a nice job by DJ after stopping the ball first, and he couldn't find it. And give Stroman credit. Mentally in the game, got over and covered first base.
Marcus Stroman is pretty much a Gold Glove fielder, and there's nothing more that he loves than running over to first base or making plays like that. He's a tremendous athlete. DJ, you're absolutely right, Craig. He just stayed right with it. Very, very athletic move, and Stroman got there. And I didn't think he was going to get to beat
Smith's
Josh
fast,
Smith.
too.
Yes,
He's got some wheels right there. That'll bring up Corey Seager, shortstop, of course. One of the best players on the Rangers. Not as much as a shift now as we saw yesterday in the doubleheader. Volpe about 3-4 feet on the left side of second base. Here's the first pitch, taken for a ball. 1-0 to Corey Seager, batting .273. That sinker was 89 miles per hour. Here's the 1-0. Seager swinging, fouls it down the right field line, so 1-1.
And Seager really didn't get off to a great start. No one on this Texas team did. And as I said before, in the last 16 games, 7 homers, 12 ribbies, and is hitting .328, much more like Corey Seager.
1-1 now from Stroman, lined into the right field corner. That'll be most likely extra bases. Seager going for 2. Here comes the throw. Safe at second base. Oh, Soto gave it a shot. And we'll take a look at that replay. Head first slide from Seager. Soto did a great job of getting over to the ball, but for now, safe at second.
Well, they just gave the headset sign, so they are gonna take a look at that.
Looking at the replay, got him. That is a great tag by Volpe too, Susan. Soto played that ball perfectly off the wall, and to Seager's credit, I mean, he was going full blast out of the box, but it does look like Volpe got him on the side of the jersey, on the right side, as he made that head first slide at the second.
And the instant replay review is brought to you by Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. And
I think he got him.
I think he got him. I think he got him on that jersey, as you said, right before the right hand gets in.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. New York retains the
challenge. Job. I'm telling you, that is a great play by Soto and a better play by Volpe getting that tag on Seager.
Well, you really want to give Soto a lot of credit. His arm has been maligned here. He really works. He and Luis Rojas, who's the outfield coach, they work all the day. Started in spring training because he wants to be the best at everything, not just a hitter. That was a terrific throw.
Yeah, two-hopper and a great job by Volpe. Now, this is a contention I have with baseball. To me, that's an out that should not be a hit. He's not safe on any base. He took the risk of going to second. They threw him out, and yet that does count as a hit. I always had a problem with that. Makes no sense.
Why? He had a single.
But he really didn't.
Well, he did.
He got a little greedy. He went to second.
He had a single. He got to first base, right?
But he was never safe anywhere.
He was safe at first. If he weren't safe at first, he couldn't have gotten to second.
I suppose. To me, 2 guys are up, 2 guys are out. That should still be
You have very interesting ideas. We need to hear more of these ideas.
The 1-1 from Stroman fouled to the right side out of play.
I actually ran your idea of having one pitcher an inning.
You like that?
I ran it by a few people in the clubhouse. It didn't go over as well as it did up here.
It's never gone over well. I think Tony La Russa actually came close to doing it once. Of course, he's always been kind of unique.
Well, he's the one who started lefty, righty, one batter.
Is that his?
Yeah, it was Tony La Russa.
Really?
Yep.
2-2. Stroman's got 2 strikes now on Marcus Semien, of course, the second baseman for the Rangers. Outside, full count. We've become such a specialized sport now that, your starters are only expected to go 5, maybe, 6 innings max, and you go right into the bullpen.
Well, they got rid of the one batter, one pitcher, one batter rule. We'd be here all night.
Foul back again. So 3-2.
Years and years ago, when all the Oakland A's were on the All-Star team, all of them were out. Somebody came in, threw one pitch, struck a guy that came out in the middle of it, threw one pitch ground ball, and Terry Steinbeck, who was the catcher.
3-2, just outside. So he walks Semien.
So Terry Steinbeck, who went out, who was played for Tony La Russa, went out to the pitcher and said, "How'd you like your All-Star appearance?" Because that was it. That was it.
Yeah, we do have the 3 batter minimum now, right?
Yep.
For relief pitchers. Josh Young, batting .291, now gets up, batting righty, playing third base for Texas. Stroman's got to deal with Semien on first after the walk. Here's the first pitch, outside.
And that was the first walk of the game, brought to you by Route 22 Toyota. Why walk when you could be driving a new Toyota? Route22Toyota.com.
You make a good point with Stroman. He's not going to overpower anybody, so, man, his location's got to be on the money, or, it's not a problem for the batters. And right now, he's missing that outside corner, 2-0. I don't buy the mechanics story as much as I want to, because to me, mechanics can be dealt with, over the course of 5 days of rest. But the Yankees are sticking to that, and we'll see how Stroman does.
We'll see.
Here's the 2-0, taken for a called strike. 2 outs.
And that pitch right there, decent sign, because the slider was a strike. And that's what he had been missing for. You can't get through a game on one pitch. And when his sinker is, you have to throw strikes with that. That slider was not working last few games.
Throws over to first. Semien wasn't going anywhere, but keep him honest over there. Stroman's thrown 15 pitches now here in the first. Yankees, after winning the first game yesterday, got blown out in game 2. Although there was some positives in game 2. We'll get to that in a second. Stroman's pitch, broken bat, one hopper to Volpe over to second in time. And the Yanks get out of the first unscathed. So we'll go to the bottom of the first now. Scoreless here in the Bronx on WFAN Yankees Radio. Electrified by the Jeep 4xe lineup.
Richard.
After another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey. Little state. Lot of wow.
Experience fall colors like never before in St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida. Let's soak up the golden sun along the sugar white sands of America's best beaches and paddle the emerald green waters of the Gulf. Let's explore the kaleidoscopic colors of more than 30 galleries and museums and over 500 street murals. And let's marvel at fiery red sunsets all season long. Discover our vivid fall colors and plan your getaway at visitspc.com. Let's shine.
Barnes Firm reminds you this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Verdugo leads off for the Yanks, takes the first pitch for a called strike. Yankee fans know Andrew Heaney all well. A couple years ago was a Yankee, right?
Yep. Got him the trade deadline, didn't work out.
Verdugo swings through the second pitch, quickly 0-2.
There's just one call to make if you're injured, and that's to the Barnes Firm Injury Attorneys, 1-800-8-million for a free case evaluation.
Former governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie, just checked in, said he's listening to the broadcast down the Jersey Shore.
The governor texted you?
Yes. The 0-2.
Is there anyone that you don't know that doesn't check in?
He sends his regards.
Oh, goodness.
Verdugo batting .239. Ground ball to third. That's I'm sorry, and it's a wild throw from Young. I apologize. So safe at first base on the throwing error. That should have been a very easy play for Josh Young, but he threw it away. So the Yanks get a gift here to start off the bottom of the first.
And there was no reason, actually, for that. He just threw it. Error, they're giving him an error, so error on the third baseman. He doesn't make a lot of those.
It's funny, I got confused for a sec because that shifts on again. He's basically standing where the shortstop is, and still, that's a routine play. So now let's see what Juan Soto can do with a man on first. Fakes to bunt. Takes a ball.
And this is why he faked to bunt, because as Craig just said, Young is playing shortstop. He's way over at shortstop, and Juan Soto really believes in this. They're going to give it to me. I'm going to take it because my guys
more players
are
should
next.
do that too.
Right. Not all players can do it.
2-0.
That's one of the big problems. He's the best bunter on the team.
Is he, Soto? And you don't want him bunting.
Well,
right? But if third base is wide open,
you give it to him because then there's two on for Aaron Judge.
Right.
And Soto really is his job is to either get him in, but get on for Aaron Judge. He really believes it. Now, if they switch them, it'll be a little different.
Here's the pitch. Soto, deep fly ball to center field. Going back to Veras, makes the play on the warning track. And getting back to first base is Verdugo. Soto gave it a ride. At 15 feet short, though.
You could hear just underneath it. You could see the look on his face when he got it. He knew he just missed it.
Yep. Aaron Judge, center fielder, steps to the plate. Centers Healthcare would like to remind you that they're not just care. They're care that moves you. CentersHealthcare.com. So Verdugo on first, one out now for Mr. Everything, Aaron Judge. 105 RBIs thus far this year. First pitch is low and outside for ball one.
And the conversation has started. What do you think about if they switch Judge and Soto? Because then you've got Verdugo up top, then Judge the righty, and then Soto third. And then Soto's protecting Judge. Now really it's hard to find protection for Judge.
Right. Based on what Stanton did yesterday, though, I mean, that must be some of the thinking as he takes a called strike. Stanton, of course, had a rope double to left and a 461-foot home run to dead center yesterday.
Well, they also like if you switch Judge and Soto, then you got lefty, righty, lefty, righty. Lefty, all the way down, righty, all the way down. I kind of like that.
The 1-1 now to Judge. Swinging, a little looper into center field for a base hit. Soto takes a turn at second. He'll go into third with a slide, but there was no throw. And very quickly, first and third now. And again, not hitting home runs in this series, but Aaron Judge is getting on base damn near every at-bat.
And Verdugo looked and saw who was, he took a second, and then he realized who was out there. And Taveras doesn't have the greatest arm, so he took a chance and went to third, got there easily.
So Giancarlo Stanton, today's cleanup hitter, brought to you by Citgo. Citgo top-tier tri-clean gasoline gets you where you're going. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Stanton had a good day at the plate yesterday. Batting fourth today. Wells bats fifth. First pitch swinging, fouls it straight back 0-1.
And we saw, even in spring training, I watched Stanton, and he was hitting line shots all over the field. It wasn't this all-or-nothing guy. And I think a lot of it had to do with bat speed and not losing weight. He's got a different shape now.
Takes the second pitch high for a ball, 1-1 now.
You know, the difference between a swimmer's body and a boxer's body,
Sure.
It's just...
Well, he clearly changed the off-season workout because he was Mr. Muscles, and obviously he's still in great shape and he's ripped, but
Wouldn't
it's
you
different.
think it's a little slower with all those muscles?
I think it's harder to play baseball. I think it's the one sport you don't have to be strong to play. And I think historically, some of the greatest hitters of all time did not have the greatest bodies, muscularly, of all time. 2-1 now to Stanton. Swings right through it. 2-2.
And, well, you're right. It was a different feeling then. Like, Ted Williams never picked up a weight. He thought it was terrible. When he managed, he didn't let any of his pitchers touch weights.
I mean, if John Kruk can bat 300,
well,
right?
He didn't lift weights?
Don't need to lift weights. Here's the 2-2 to Stanton. Lifted into left center field. Tavares moving over from center. He'll make the play, but tagging from third is Verdugo, and that is an RBI as Aaron Judge scampers back to first base. Stanton did his job. That's an RBI. And the New York Yankees take a 1-0 lead.
And that is really what you want to do. You want to get a lead in that first inning so that your pitcher has something to work with. And that ball on the bat, didn't it sound exactly the same as Soto's? He just got it in the same place.
Just missed it. So Judge on first. 2 outs now for Austin Wells. Austin Wells is batting 5th. He's been great batting cleanup. He moves down 1 spot in the order. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. Batting 4th, he was batting .362 with 13 RBIs in only 14 games. So we'll see if coming down 1 spot in the order has any impact on Austin, starting catcher for the Yankees. Judge barely with the lead at first. Austin Wells takes strike 2.
You know, most of these guys, some do take where they're hitting very, very seriously. Guys like Austin Wells, they just want to be playing. They don't. And once you get past the first inning, it doesn't matter because then it's
right. You're not batting 4th in an inning.
That's right. That's right. You're not the leadoff hitter very often.
The 0-2 now to Wells with Judge on first. Takes high for ball 1. You know, the Yankees did this yesterday. Got a run early. Of course, the 2 games went differently after that. It was Gleyber Torres with the early RBIs yesterday. Today it's Stanton with the sac fly to center field. Judge takes off for second. Wells hits the ball into right field. Coming in is Garcia. Going out is Semien, and Semien puts it away. So, 1 hit, a sacrifice fly, and the Yanks drop.
Black Bear products are available exclusively at your local ShopRite.
All right, back here at Yankee Stadium, and it's the Yankees with a 1-0 lead. Now, so I saw something interesting, Susan. Stroman ran out in the field before any of the guys came out there and was getting some extra warm-up pitches prior to the start of this second inning. So
that's
Langford's going to lead off. Wyatt Langford, he's playing left field. First pitch is a little bit high.
He's got a lot of energy. This driver on the league is brought to you by Hyundai with a brand new Hyundai. There's joy in every journey. HyundaiUSA.com. A couple games going on.
The 1-0 to Langford's outside, 2-0.
Houston's lost 4 in a row, and they're in Boston trying to get some length here, with their winning, and no score. But bad news for the Red Sox.
Here's the 2-0. Ground ball to short. Volpe squeezes it. The throw to first in time.
Hunter Brown is starting for Houston. James Paxton, who they just got in a trade, who hadn't gotten hurt all year, pitched great for the Dodgers, traded to the Red Sox, went 2/3 of an inning, left the game with a leg injury.
Oh.
So it's... Yeah, I feel bad for him. He made it the whole year. He was the steadiest person in that Dodger rotation. They were going down all around him, and the only one left standing was James Paxton. Comes here in 2 days, and he's hurt already in 2 games.
Nathaniel Lowe now, first baseman for the Rangers, takes a called first strike from Marcus Stroman.
The other game that's going on right now, Oakland scored 5 in the top of the first off of Chris Bassett, and this is his 3rd bat in a row. And they're still batting.
Takes inside.
J.J. Bleday had his 14th homer. Zach Geloff had his 15th. And J.P. Sears, the ex-Yankee, is on the mound for Oakland.
The 1-1 from Stroman, ground ball to the right side, just foul. Fanatics Fest NYC takes over the Javits Center August 16th to the 18th. For tickets and information, go to fanaticsfest.com. That's fanaticsfest.com.
Baltimore and Tampa Bay just underway. No score in Tampa Bay, bottom of the first. Albert Suarez going for Baltimore. Jeffrey Springs just off the injured list.
Fouled straight back, so we'll do 1 and 2 again.
Going for Tampa Bay. Cleveland and Minnesota, and the Mets and Seattle still to come. In what must be that Roku game, Angels are leading Washington. Boy, they've played great since they left. Since they came here, just ran through it, and now are taking on Washington. They lead 6-0 in the 8th.
Nathaniel Lowe takes a called strike 3. That's a good job by Marcus Stroman there, and quickly 2 outs here in the second.
Padres, who have won 7 in a row, are in Miami. Miami scored 1 in the bottom of the first. It's Dylan Cease against Max Meyer. Everything else is later on, including Pittsburgh and the Dodgers, and Pittsburgh's fallen apart. They have lost 6 in a row. Philly and Arizona at 4 o'clock.
First pitch to Garcia's a ball. My first job in radio was in Buffalo, New York, and one of the first people I met was Greg Brown, who at the time was the Buffalo Bison's play-by-play announcer. Now for 30 years has been the Pirates play-by-play announcer. Great guy, great broadcaster.
He's a great guy. Yep, he's great.
2-0 now. I heard your pregame interview with the broadcaster for Texas. They can't figure out what happened to Garcia based on last year and the way he started the first, I guess, couple weeks of this year.
First month, he was really good, and
swings right through the 2-0 pitch, 2-1.
And he's been swinging wildly, so it's not, because usually say, oh, he's hung over from last year. But no, he started off great, and they don't know. And Bruce Bochy has moved him up in the lineup. They've moved him down in the lineup. They thought maybe he needed to be cleanup hitter. That would help him.
The 2-1, grounded foul, just past the Ranger dugout. So Stroman's got another shot here. 2-2, 2 outs. Tavares on deck. See if Stroman here, who's been pretty economical thus far. 28 pitches into the second inning now. 2 outs, nobody on. Yanks up 1-0. That pitch is way outside, 3-2.
First strikeout of the game, and that was Nathaniel Lowe, is presented by Vessi. Strikeout wet socks with Vessi's 100% waterproof shoes, designed in every style. Visit VESSI.com/baseball. Find your pair.
3-2 is just off the black on the corner, and he walked. Lost him there. Had him at 1-2 and winds up walking Garcia. That's the second walk of the game now for Stroman. We are listening to Yankees baseball right now on WFAN Yankees Radio Network. We'll do the official ID thingamajig coming up in just a second.
In other words, don't break.
Exactly. Man up first. Stroman's pitch to Tavares is a called strike.
Now, isn't Governor Christie a Mets fan?
He's a diehard Mets fan.
Okay, then why is he?
He's on the board of the Mets, but he loves Yankee radio.
Well, he can come to the booth anytime.
Anytime, right?
Yeah.
Second pitch is just outside. 1-1 now.
This is probably terrible to say. Every time I see him, he makes me laugh. He says great things.
Chris,
he's so funny.
He's a quote machine.
He really is.
And a diehard baseball fan. Diehard baseball fan.
Well, we're nicer over here. On this side of the bridge. He can come this way, too.
That'll never happen.
Okay.
The 1-1's a called strike. To his credit, like as the governor of New Jersey, imagine being an admitted Dallas Cowboy fan. And
I do remember
caring how
that.
people
Wasn't he
react to
sitting
it.
in the booth
Yes.
with Jerry Jones?
And Jerry Jones thought that Chris had a lucky sweater. So he kept inviting him back. But here's the 1-2 just outside, 2-2.
Oh, that's funny.
The problem with that sweater is that the Dallas Cowboys have gone 30 years now without making it to a Super Bowl.
So it's not Chris's fault.
But he still wears the sweater.
Well, maybe you should get a new sweater by now.
You would think. 2 outs, man on first. The 2-2 from Stroman to Tavares coming right about now, but first he throws back to first. Garcia back. We did have a stolen base yesterday. Only stolen base thus far in this series, just one. The 2-2 now coming to Tavares. Ground ball, first base, but foul. Now we can do the ID. Let's pause for station identification on WFAN Yankees Radio.
Your home for Boomerang Geo. Mornings from 6 to 10. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York.
All right, back at Yankee Stadium now. Tavares working on a 2-2 count against Marcus Stroman. Here's the 2-2. Outside, full count again. So he's gotten ahead of most batters thus far today. He lost Garcia after being ahead 1-2. He's on first. He struck out Nathaniel Lowe and had the ground out to start off the inning. But now he's 3-2. Tavares up. Kelly on deck. The 3-2. A little flare to third. Jazz has it, no problem. And that'll do it for the second inning here. Again, no hits, no runs. One man left on. Going to the bottom of the second, Yankees lead the Rangers 1-0.
End. Your inspiration, our expertise.
My man, Dr. Jay Shah, specializing in minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments for neck, back, and sciatica, migraines, and so much more, offers pain-relieving solutions. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Samwell Pain for all their aches and pains. Visit SamwellPain.com.
Back at Yankee Stadium, Gleyber Torres leads off the bottom of the second for the Yanks with a 1-0 lead. Heaney's first pitch, just outside, 1-0.
Hey, Yankee fans, need a pick-me-up as strong as the Yankees bullpen. Duncan's got your back with drinks that'll have you running the bases in no time.
The 1-0 to Gleyber. Take it for a called strike, 1-1.
Slide into Duncan and get energized for the game. The New York Yankees run on Duncan.
Gleyber had a good day yesterday at the plate. 1-1 now. Takes high and inside, 2-1. Had a couple RBIs yesterday. You're getting the sense, I am at least, that the lineup today might very well be the lineup you see come the postseason. Gleyber takes up ball 3-1.
Well, it also depends on if it's a lefty or a righty.
Sure.
Because you got, this is pretty much what they've done against lefties, and sometimes they'll move Verdugo, who leads off as a lefty, down a little bit.
Glaber fouls the 3-1 back into the stands.
The whole year Aaron Boone is dying for someone to grab the leadoff spot. They just want someone to get on base all the time. They've tried all kinds of people. When Glaber was going well, he was very good, took 7 or 8 pitches thing. And then Verdugo, when he was going well, was a good leadoff hitter, but no one has grabbed it like the cleanup hitter also.
Here's the 3-2 to Glaber. Swings through it. That's a strikeout for Heaney. That's his first strikeout. Glaber goes down swinging.
A lot of change-ups now from Andrew Heaney. As everyone remembers, Andrew Heaney, who was here for a little while, just did not have good luck here. Just was not pitching well. Every time he threw a slider, it ended up in the middle of the plate and ended up in the stands. He just was, game after game, he'd go out and get his head handed to him.
Jazz Chisholm takes the first pitch low and outside. The first pitch at the bottom of the second was an 82-mile-per-hour changeup brought to you by Optimum. With the fastest fiber internet on the tri-state, speeds up to 8 gig. Optimum, where local is big time. Here's the 1-0 now to Chisholm, taking all the way for a strike, 1-1.
And the four-seamer now, he's got that up to 93. And different pitcher. I know that the record is terrible because they lose every day, but he's got an ERA of under 4.
The 1-1, ground ball to first, easily played by Lowe. Little toss to Heaney covering, and there's 2 away.
And sometimes people listen a little differently when you go someplace else. He did very well. He was traded back to L.A., signed there, did well for the Dodgers, and then came to Texas, and there was Mike Maddox, who, whatever was wrong is not wrong anymore.
Fixed it. Here, a smattering of applause for Anthony Volpe. It is Anthony Volpe Gold Glove Bobblehead Day. First 18,000 fans got it. The first 1,800 got like a gold one. Not real gold, of course.
I think they were mixed in. I just want to see what they look like.
Me too.
I didn't know what they meant. Is somebody going to get a real gold Anthony Volpe thing? The glove on this one is gold.
The Yankees are a very magnanimous and generous organization, but they're not giving out gold. The 0-1, Volpe fouls it straight back. Told that there's a contingent of Syracuse University students here from Psi Upsilon fraternity enjoying today's game. And why not? Beautiful day. Got to be 44,000 people in the ballpark. The 0-2 taken outside for the first ball.
Does Psi Upsilon have some are the jock fraternities, some are the nerdy fraternities. Which one is
I'm told that it was a secret society fraternity at Syracuse.
What does that mean?
I'm not quite sure. Volpe goes down swinging, so Heaney has a 1-2-3 inning, his second strikeout of the inning, out of the game. We've played 2 here in the Bronx, and the
Start.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. dueling ads here. Storage Post is your trusted self-storage solution from climate control to top-notch security. We've got you covered. Official self-storage partner of the New York Yankees.
Carson Kelly leads off the top of the third for the Rangers. First pitch, fouls it back into the crowd. I'm just thinking about the state of baseball driving here today, Susan, and legacies. And I'm thinking about the legacy of Rob Manfred. Now, typically, fans never like commissioners. It's kind of the thing, whether it's Roger Goodell in the NFL, Adam Silver with the NBA. As
Everybody
he takes
loves Adam Silver.
Adam Silver's beloved by the players.
Yes. Okay.
But legacy-wise, you could make the argument that the pitch clock is the most significant positive change for the sport in recent memory. You agree with that?
Well, that is, but here's the other thing, is that some of us remember when you didn't need a pitch clock, that people never got out of the box, never did that, and then it became, look at me.
Right, the players changed.
Right.
The 1-2, line drive over Gleyber Torres' head into center field for a base hit for Carson Kelly.
And Carson Kelly is going to get more and more playing time here, and you'll see it when we're in Texas. They got him. He was a pretty good player. And they went and got him because their catcher, Jonah Heim, has not been what he was. And so they went and got Kelly, and they're going to start platooning or playing 50-50 and not just once a week, because this guy can hit.
He played the second game of the doubleheader yesterday and gets a start here today. First pitch to Smith is fouled off. Smith grounded out to start off the game.
It's so funny because I hear players when they say, you're changing the game. And I said, well, they played the game the other way for 100 years, and it was fine.
Right, it didn't need to be changed. But I think from a fan standpoint, if Smith takes a strike call, I don't know if it's made the game better, but it certainly shortened the game, and that does bring in a younger crowd.
Well, it shortened the game, but it takes away dead time. That was the thing. There wasn't any action, and getting rid of the dumb shift.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Smith fouls off the 0-2 pitch. Out of reaching into the crowd. That
was something that that evolved. But don't forget, Lou Boudreau did it to Ted Williams in 1948. So no, I was not there. But that's always been around. And then Ted Williams always said in the one World Series that they had in 1946, they shifted on him. He said, if I weren't so stubborn, I wouldn't have gone 1 for 21, and I would have gone the other way. But I was stubborn. I was going to hit it through it. So it's been around for a long time. Nobody here invented it. Trust me.
The 0-2 now to Smith. Well, that looked good to me, but it's a ball, 1-2. They actually put it up on the board. I've never seen that.
What?
The slurve.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
I figured out what
combination of a curve and a slider.
Right. That. The 1-2, rip to right. Torres jumps and makes a great catch on the line drive to right field. Nice defensive play there by Gleyber Torres, and Carson Kelly stays at first.
And really good play by Gleyber, because you really have to time that, because it was taking off, and he just did it at the time, right at the right time. You get it really right in the web of the glove too, not even snow coned.
Corey Seager's up. He has a Fugazi single back in the first. He was thrown out at second base by Soto on a great tag by Volpe. One away now here in the third, and the Yankees leading 1-0. Small lead by Kelly. He's not running. The 1-0 taken for a called strike. It's a big start for Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, well, he said he's a confident guy.
Yep.
And he said he knew how to fix it. So far, so good. We'll have to ask him if it is the bottom half that he's using more.
That pitch is a ball, 2-1. Jazz Chisholm is about 20 feet away from second base, meaning he's about 70 feet away from third base. He's in the hole like he's playing shortstop at double play depth. Behind second base on the left field side is Volpe. Line drive into center field. No problem for Judge. Squeezes it for the second out of the inning. And back to first base goes Kelly.
Well, asking you shall receive. Friend of Alex Fuse at ESPN. The gold bobblehead. They're all over social media, evidently.
Nice. I think I like ours better.
I like ours better, too. I'm not, because I'd look at whatever the actress's name was. I think her name was
From
Jill
Goldfinger,
something.
I don't remember. One of the great Bond flicks, though. Here's the first pitch to Semien. He walked back in the third. You're either a Sean Connery guy or gal, or you're a Roger Moore fan. I was a Roger Moore fan.
Okay, I was a Sean
You're
Connery
a Sean Connery fan, yeah?
Well, the only other guy who did, I liked Roger Moore, but I loved Daniel Craig.
Really?
Yeah. But John Connery is it.
Hard to argue against Sean Connery. Roger Moore seemed smoother,
He
but
was,
I was
he
a
was
kid.
good, yeah. Well,
I don't think Roger Moore ever did anything else other than Bond movies later in his career, right?
he did a lot. He was in a lot of things. He was in a lot of American comedies as the husband of second.
Ground ball to third, Chisholm over to second to Glaber, and that'll do it. A ground out by Semien. So good start for Marcus Stroman. He's through 3, and the Yankees lead going into the bottom of the third.
Your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. Get your Saturday, August 24th Old Timers Day tickets commemorating the 15th anniversary of the 2009 Yankees, presented by Fresh Direct at Yankees.com/tickets.
All right, we are back at Yankee Stadium. The third inning is brought to you by Spectrum. Get Spectrum Internet, Mobile, and TV. Restrictions apply. Visit Spectrum.com for details. DJ LeMahieu leading off the bottom of the third for the Yanks. A 1-0 lead for New York. Takes the first pitch inside for a ball. That was a four-seam fastball at 91. So, like you said earlier, Susan, he's not going to overwhelm you with the fastball, yeah? Second pitch is high, ball 2-0.
And one of the things that he had, and that's even less, that was 89. I don't think that meant to be there, but because if he's ready for that, that gets hit. But usually it's his slider that has been really good.
Takes a called strike, 2-1.
But interestingly enough, he hasn't thrown one slider to DJ.
No, all fastballs,
all
but
fastballs.
High 80s, low 90s. That's dangerous at this level. 2-1, taken for a called strike, 2-2.
Well, and there's that slider. He's got a really good one. And like a lot of the guys, they have a slider that is a strike and one that is not.
The 2-2 now to DJ. Swings right through it for the third strikeout of the game now for Heaney.
Now, what Heaney did with that's kind of interesting because fastball, all 89, 90, 91, and that was 93. So just that little tick up in velocity changed the whole path of that at bat.
How much of that is that fastball coming off the slider from a hitter's perspective?
It feels a lot more. It feels probably like 95 and not 92.
First pitch swing is Verdugo right to second base. Semien easy throw to first, 2 away.
Injury got you on the IL. Our lawyers help you get back in the starting lineup. Call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud sponsor of the New York Yankees.
He's coming off a good start against Houston. Went 6 innings, only gave up a hit. That was 5 days ago. Now Soto up. He flew out to center. His first at-bat. 2 outs now in the third. Takes a called strike for the first pitch. Third inning brought to you by Spectrum. Get Spectrum Internet, Mobile, and TV. Restrictions apply. Visit Spectrum.com for details. Takes the ball 1-1 now. Soto batting .302, 28 home runs, 80 RBIs. The 1-1 now from Heaney, taking low and inside, 2-1. They fade him all the way to right on the infield. The outfield's pretty much dead center against Soto.
Heaney's now 33. He was here in 2021. I was trying to remember what year that was.
2-1 taken outside. Good eye by Soto. Judge on deck. Yanks have one hit. Judge has it. Single back in the first. Scoring for Dugo. Here's the 3-1 now to Soto. Deep fly ball to right field. That is a forget about it home run for number 22. And the New York Yankees now lead 2-0 over the Texas Rangers, deep into the right center field seats.
And you shouldn't throw that pitch twice to the same guy. The other one he missed and just went to center field. This one he did not miss. It was a little bit up, and he just hammered it. You saw Garcia turn around, kind of trot back, but not really, and just looked at it. That was dangerous. The first Yankee homer brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. 29th home run of the season.
I mean, that is a no doubt about it home run. Gives the Yankees a 2-0 lead now for Aaron Judge. First pitch to Judge, taken high and outside, 1-0.
We're looking at this pitch again. It was up, and it was right belt high. It was up, a fastball, and he just hammered it.
Aaron Judge skies one above us, straight back. Yeah, that was a bomb. Full extension, beautiful. The 1-1 now to Aaron Judge. Takes it outside. He's done a real good job in this series, since I've been paying attention, to not swinging at those low outside pitches.
Right. No, that stopped a couple of years ago. They keep trying, but...
Aaron Judge laces a line drive right back into center field. Another single for Aaron Judge, another hit for Aaron Judge.
You know, sometimes I look at scouting reports and I watch how they're pitching Aaron Judge, and it's like they haven't read the updated scouting reports. He hasn't swung at that outside pitch in years.
Right.
But
David Wright still swinging at it. Little shot at the Mets, I'm sorry. Stan is today's cleanup hitter, brought to you by Serve Pro, like it never even happened. Stan got great wood on the ball yesterday. He also has the sacrifice fly in the first. It was his RBI in the first, not Judge's. Takes the first pitch inside. Ball one. So 2-0 lead now for the New York Yankees. They got the sac fly in the first, the home run from Soto here in the third. 2 outs, Judge on first. The 1-0 to Stanton. Check swing, did not go around, says the first base umpire. 2-0. Stan's batting .245. He's got 19 home runs. The issue with him, of course, is staying healthy, staying on the field. 2-0 now. Heaney's delivery outside, 3-0. Austin Wells on deck. Stanton obviously has the green light no matter what the count is. See what happens here with the 3-0 from Heaney. Judge on first, barely a lead. Stanton takes high, ball 4. So Judge goes to second. Stanton on first with the walk. And now Austin Wells. Great opportunity here for the Yanks in the third to get a couple extra runs here. Give Marcus Stroman some breathing room.
And Carson Kelly goes out to talk, and now that Corey Seager comes in to talk to Andrew Heaney. All this, and how many times have we seen this? 2 outs. He got DJ, struck him out, a little ground ball by Verdugo, then the homer to Soto, and then the single, and now the walk. And it's all this with 2 outs, which is so frustrating to a manager, a pitching coach, and obviously the pitcher. You see that a lot lately.
Austin's been hot over the last 22 games, batting .338, 4 home runs. They could use one now. Up 2-0 here in the third. Swinging at the first pitch, swings through it for strike 1.
And there's that slider. He's going to see a lot of off speed coming from the lefty on lefty. Soto doesn't care, does he? Lefty, righty, doesn't matter. Whatever you're throwing.
Judge off second. Stanton on first. Wells, ground ball down to third. Easy play, throw over to first base to Lowe. And the Rangers escaped without any other damage. But the damage was done because Juan Soto hit another home run. And the New York Yankees now lead 2-0 after 3 on WFAN Yankees Radio. Electrified by the Jeep 4xE line. Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Book a relaxing massage or facial after the game. 2-0 Yanks going into the top of the fourth. Josh Young will lead off for the Rangers. Fielder's choice ground ball back in the first. Here's the Stroman pitch. Ground ball to third. Jazz with it. Quick throw to first. Got it. That's so smooth.
Scoreboard is brought to you by Food Bazaar Supermarket. Shop locally global with Food Bazaar Supermarket, foodbazaar.com. Still 1-0. Houston, top of the third in Boston. Houston has won 4 straight. Hunter Brown is in for Houston. James Paxton started. He left with a calf strain. Those are tricky. That's a long time.
Never strained my calf.
Well, John Birdie has one. He's still trying to.
I'm trying to figure out how you do strain your calf. Seems like an odd injury. Well, like the Achilles, I get that, but the calf seems like a weird muscle to strain. Line drive to the right side of the infield through the hole there. Glaber was playing closer to second base. That's a single for Wyatt Langford.
Oakland scored 6 runs in the top of the first, and it's still 6-0 over Toronto, bottom of the third. J.J. Bleday is 14th. Zach Geloff is 15th. J.P. Sears for Oakland. And Chris Bassett, who really the last 3 starts has not been Chris Bassett, and we know is pitching for Toronto. No score. Baltimore's at Tampa Bay. Albert Suarez and Jeffrey Springs there in the bottom of the third at Tropicana.
Nathaniel Lowe now, the first baseman for the Rangers, up with a man on. First pitch is inside for a ball.
They're underway in Minnesota. It's Tanner Bybee for the Guardians and David Festa for the Twins. No score, top of the second. Mets in Seattle later at 7.
So Stroman hasn't had a 1-2-3 inning yet. Man on first here in the fourth. The 1-0 to Lowe. Ground ball, foul towards the Yankee dugout, 1-1.
The Angels are leading Washington 6-2. They are in the top of the ninth now in Washington. Kevin Pillar, 3-run double, is part of a 5-run fourth inning for the Angels.
The Angels forgot they were the Angels.
They got all excited if they beat the Yankees.
Stroman throws over to first. Safe back in the bag is Langford.
You know, when you're building a team, you want up the middle. They have a shortstop, they have a catcher, that's up the middle, and they have a first baseman. And then you go from there and see what else. But those 3 are going to be around a long time.
If only Trout could stay healthy. If you're an Angels fan, nobody is.
Well, somebody goes.
A couple people, right?
Well, they have people.
They do well tennis-wise in Anaheim?
Oh, yeah.
The 1-1's a ball, 2-1 now.
Beautiful stadium. You ever been up there?
I've never been there.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah?
It's good. It's the only stadium I've seen. See, if you look at it's the only place I've ever seen that if people get up from their seats, the people next to them don't have to get up to let them through the aisles.
Because there's space in front, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So it's designed well.
It's beautiful.
Give them that.
Disney, yes.
2-1 from Stroman now. Inside 3-1. Garcia's on deck.
Great place. Cincinnati and Milwaukee just underway. Nick Lodolo against D.L. Hall. Milwaukee's won 5 straight.
Do you have a favorite stadium outside of New York? Here's the 3-1. Ground ball to short. This should be 2. Volpe keeps it himself. Throws to first in time. Double play. Anthony Volpe gets Marcus Stroman and the Yankees out of it. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th.
$1 million. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Bottom of the 4th brought to you by Cars for Kids, 877 Cars for Kids. First pitch is a ball. That's Cars with a K. Donate your car today. So we made it to the bottom of the 4th. Texas 0-3-1. Yanks 2-3-0. Yanks have a 2-0 lead. Here's the 1-0 now. Glaber fouls it straight back, 1-1. Yanks try to win the rubber match of this 3-game series against Texas. Texas 7 games under 500. Yanks 20 games over 500. Glaber Torres hits a fly ball, canter corn to center. And Tavares squeezes it with no problem for the first out.
Fans, if you looked in right field at Yankee Stadium, GKNY is ready to receive all of the Yankees home runs. Check out GKNY.com to enhance your New York City style.
Is that Donna Karen? DKNY?
Yes, it is.
Did the math on that?
I don't know why she doesn't bring stuff up to this booth.
Would be nice. Shoes.
Guys always get stuff.
I only get food.
No, well, you get food. Well, but you're on radio. The guys on television get suits and everything.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
all right.
Oh, yeah.
First pitch is a called strike to Jazz. Here's the 0-1 now. A little running bunt foul. Huh, okay. Keep him honest there, 0-2.
Oh, that moved and he got underneath it and popped him straight up in the air. And Jazz can do that. I forgot that he can also bunt. So far what we've seen all year is that Soto lays down perfect bunts. You know, as far as stadiums are, it gets when you work a long time, it's also where the booth is.
Right.
And that makes a difference. My favorite, I think, is Seattle, which is just stunning. It's
Never
beautiful.
been.
It's gorgeous.
I'm fond of Wrigley.
Oh, that's because you've never worked there.
Is it bad?
If I could figure out a way to get out of that series, I would stay.
Really?
Oh, it's a
from a broadcast booth standpoint.
Yeah,
stuff?
well, it's so small.
Right.
Once you get in, you can't get out. So Matt, if I have to go out and use the ladies' room, Matt will have to leave the booth.
That's where the
no
producers
kidding.
here behind
He's
us,
in the
yeah.
back. He's in the back. The other thing is to get to the field, you have to go through the stands.
The 1-2 now. taken outside, really?
Never a good idea at Wrigley Field.
I'm sure.
Never, not there. And the visitors' clubhouse is in right field in the second deck.
Wow. I just went as a...
Well, if you went as a fan,
yeah,
that's
it was
great.
Fine. Yeah. Chisholm flies one short to, actually to the third baseman there. That's a Young. He was over playing shortstop, essentially, and that's an easy out.
Anyway, Angel Stadium is gorgeous, and you can see the mountains out there, and where the Ducks play is out the window. And also, the other one I love is it's old, and they're talking about getting a new one. I love Kansas City. I don't know how it's easy to work. It's beautiful. It's always clean.
Yeah, they're trying to co-op a deal where they build a new stadium for the Chiefs.
They want it
and
downtown.
For the Royals,
yeah, that's what everybody is doing now, moving downtown. This is out in the middle of the highways.
Anthony Volpe swings through the first pitch. 0-1.
So you did this series. You didn't come to Washington where we're on the roof. Or
on the roof?
Yeah, so it's Pittsburgh. By the fourth inning, all you're doing is looking at the boats up and down because you can't see the field. But it's gorgeous stadium. Absolutely gorgeous in Pittsburgh.
Okay. The 0-1 to Anthony Volpe now. That's line foul into the stands. They have a nice stadium. Pittsburgh always seems lately like they give you a good April and May, and they tease you a little bit like, hey, maybe this is our year.
I thought this was the year. Yeah.
Beautiful
Here's the
0-2.
Beautiful stadium.
Volpe check swing. Did not go around. 1-2.
Great fans in Pittsburgh. They'd come out if the team won. They do. It's a beautiful stadium.
Well, they've got that phenom Skeens, right?
Right.
Paul Skeens, I think is his name, from LSU.
That's his name.
The 1-2 now to Volpe. Takes inside 2-2. Heaney had a 1-2-3 inning back in the second. Gave up a run in the first and a run in the third. 2 outs here in the fourth. The 2-2 outside, 3-2. So Volpe was down 0-2 in the count and has now fought back to full, 3-2.
Anthony on one of his little downward trends, for his last 20.
See if he can get on base. The 3-2. Line drive down the right field line. That's going to go foul and into the stands about 15 rows deep. Make somebody happy. I will say this. When you think of the best of baseball imagery-wise, a sold-out Yankee Stadium on a beautiful day is it. The 3-2, Volpe swings through it, so he strikes out for the second time today. And a 1-2-3 inning there for Andrew Heaney. After 4 complete, 2-0 Yankees on WFAN Yankees Radio. Electrified. ELEC 825, building our future. It'll be Adolis Garcia. He walked back in the second and got stranded there. Marcus Stroman, now 61 pitches, as we get ready to start the top of the fifth. Yanks with a 2-0 lead, and Garcia takes a called strike one.
Well, whatever he has fixed it, because here we are in the fifth inning. And he's really strong and very efficient. 62 pitches going into the fifth inning for him is really, really good. This is what he was striving for.
And it seems like this would be a good team for him to get out of that funk against, because they're not a really good team offensively, as you mentioned. That pitch is line fouled on the third base line. So quickly 0-2 now against Garcia. Tavares on deck. Yanks playing Garcia straight and honest. Here's the 0-2. Line foul to the right side.
What you like about what he's done, sorry, Craig, is that the balls are on the ground. And that's, sometimes he'll get through because he pitches to contact. You like to see that. You don't want to see balls flying in the air against him.
The 0-2 now to Garcia. Outside, ball 1-2.
Game is sponsored by Riverwalk, spacious senior apartments at River Springs Living's 32-acre New York City campus overlooking the Hudson River.
Stroman out with the 1-2 to Garcia. Hits the ball foul just a couple feet to the left of home plate. Coming to you live from the Provident Bank broadcast booth. Provident Bank, commitment you can count on. Visit provident.bank to learn more. Yanks up 2-0. We're in the top of the fifth. Marcus Stroman in his bounce-back game ever since they tried to fix his mechanics over the last week. So far, so good. Garcia lifts one high down the third base line. Don't think anyone's going to have a play on it, but I'm wrong because Verdugo comes over in foul territory and makes the catch. I thought that ball for sure was going to go into the crowd, but it didn't, and Verdugo hustling the entire way makes the catch about 3 feet shy of the wall.
And he did it, and what he did was look down. I always get nervous about that. He looked down and saw where the wall was and really made that perfect error. It's really hard because you can see the sun gleaming off his sunglasses.
First pitch swinging is Tavares, foul. That was about a good, 20-yard run for Verdugo to make that play in foul territory. Good hustle there. Tavares swinging on the 0-1. Easy ground ball to second. Glaber over to first, got him.
Yeah, this is his best start in it. Let's look this up. A long time. This is Marcus Stroman.
And Susan, I'm just looking out of the, this is the fifth inning here.
Mm-hmm.
4 of the 5 innings, he's gotten the first guy out.
Very important. He's throwing strike one. He doesn't have to come back.
Yeah, Kelly led off the third with a single. Outside of that, he's gotten the first batter out in the other 4 innings. 2 outs now, and Kelly's up. First pitch is a called ball.
And you like this because you can tell when he knows he's got it because he never leaves the rubber. He's ready to go immediately.
The 1-0 now to Kelly. Just off the outside corner, 2-0. Kelly started the second game. Did not have a great day at the plate yesterday in that second game. But now he gets another opportunity to start here against the Yanks. The 2-0 from Stroman. That's line right back out of Susan. Oh!
All right.
The guy in front of me just made a one-handed catch with his left hand, and that ball is 5 feet away from coming back into the booth.
Well,
that's a great play.
That was a great play.
Kelly fouls the next pitch off.
Did you think you could?
I had that.
You had it? Yeah.
Notice how I jumped up like a fox.
I
got
did
right
see
up.
it. Yes, you did. And you don't even have your glove.
I would have made that catch. 100% I make that catch.
He's not talking to you on the air. He's talking to the fans down below.
There's like 9 people paying attention. That guy made a hell of a catch, though.
Great.
The 2-2's just outside. 3-2. Well, I got the Volpe bobblehead, as you did.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice souvenir. And I would have given it to you.
The ball? Oh, that's okay.
I'm sure you've got
baseballs
before.
I have one that I caught that I did keep, and it was in the 1986 World Series. It was a foul ball off of the batter, Rich Gedman. We were at Shea Stadium. That I kept.
Ground ball to third. Jazz, the pick, the throw, got him. That is a 1-2-3 inning for Marcus Stroman, and he is feeling it. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth now at the end.
With Uber Eats. Simply open the Uber Eats app, place your order, and we'll notify you when it's ready for pickup. Offer expires 8/31/2024.
The Bet365 real-time money line is now minus 700 for the Yankees and plus 450 for the Rangers. Powered by Bet365. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, so bottom of the fifth, Yanks up 2-0. DJ LeMahieu leads off the bottom of the fifth. He struck out in his only at-bat of the game back in the third, and he is struggling. Batting 188 now, 2 home runs, 22 RBIs. The 1-0 to DJ. Outside 2-0, Yankee fans shop the New Era Authentic Collection at the Yankees team store, NewEraCap.com. New Era, the official on-field cap of Major League Baseball. The 2-0 to LeMahieu's way inside, 3-0. Now, if you're struggling at the plate, Susan, and your team's up 2-0, and it's a 3-0 pitch, I assume you take all the way. Get on base, right? Somehow, some way. And he takes a called strike.
Okay. Well, DJ actually has started as of late, because sometimes you just don't look at the numbers because it takes in the bad part that's way back. I'll show you what he's done lately.
DJ stepped out of the box. The home plate ump did not give him time. Heaney threw the pitch right down the pike for a called strike, and LeMahieu's ticked off. And now he has the time again. And this time he gets it.
Well, LeMahieu doesn't complain a lot. He's very mild-mannered, and he doesn't do that, but he is not happy with that.
Nor should he be.
Nor should he be. Now,
so now it's a 3-2 pitch from Heaney. Line drive right back up the box for a hit. Well, maybe that's the impetus to get DJ cooking here a little bit. A leadoff single to start the fifth.
Well, and he's been doing that a little bit more in his last 8 starts. He's hitting .267 with 4 runs scored, a couple of doubles, 2 home runs, one of them that great grand slam, and he's won a couple of ball games. So that the word is trending, they now use, and so he is trending in the right direction.
Okay.
But this is a 2-time batting champ. He'll get there.
Yep, that's a line drive right up the box to start off the fifth. Verdugo now up. First pitch to Alex is a called strike. Red Sox fans hate seeing Alex in a Yankee uniform. Guy online, Chris Cottogio, livid that he's playing for the Pinstripes now. DJ on first. Verdugo hits a line drive into right center that drops in for a base hit. LeMahieu turning second. He's going to go to third. In safely standing up. And Verdugo with a single. And the New York Yankees now have runners at first and third.
And that was a really good piece of hitting by Alex Verdugo, because that ball is going away from him. But he got it while it was still a strike and just lashed it into center field.
So 2 hits to start the fifth. See if there's any action in the Ranger dugout, bullpen rather.
Well, they're starting to wander around out there. I see some arm circles, and somebody's taking off a jacket, and here comes Mike Maddox, the pitching coach.
You're right. There's like 8 different people walking around that bullpen.
I'm always amazed when people are. He's livid that Verdugo was playing. Does he understand the Red Sox didn't want him? Why is he livid? So if he got traded to the Angels, it would have been okay?
I think it would have been better.
Okay.
I think it would have been better.
Yes. I think it's always so funny. They didn't want him.
Right. Like he didn't choose to come to New York.
He didn't, yes.
Right.
This consultation on the mound is brought to you by the Barnes Firm Injury Attorneys. Call for a free consultation at 1-800-8-MILLION.
It's a good point. It's very much in football, like Giant fans are upset that Saquon Barkley went to the Eagles.
Right.
He wanted to be a Giant.
It happened here when Johnny Damon came here. When he went back to Boston, he said, they won't boo me. I gave my whole body for that World Series. He really did. 2004. They booed the bejesus out of him. If he had walked back in a Minnesota uniform, they would have had all kinds of video tributes.
No, you're right about that. Fans are fickle for sure.
They're funny.
Soto's up. Soto hit a solo home run back in the third, and it was a bomb to right center. Now you got 2 men on, nobody out. This could be the inning for the Yanks. Up by 2. Soto swings, barely gets a piece of it, comes back behind the catcher 0-1.
And that was a changeup. He thought that was going to be a fastball. He hasn't thrown that changeup to start to anybody to Soto. Wow.
So we've got LeMahieu on third, led off the inning with a single. Verdugo on first. And here's Juan Soto. Takes high ball 1-1. Yanks have a 2-0 lead. And Stroman's pitched great. But let's get him a couple insurance runs here. After a 1-2-3 fifth in the top of the frame. The 1-1 now to Soto. Ground ball foul. Past first base. So now in a 1-2 hole.
And we're going to lefty and a righty going to the pen for Texas.
You know, 2 of the guys that pitched yesterday for the Rangers are no longer on the Texas Rangers.
Right. One they brought up a couple
Anderson
of kids.
went back down, I think, right after the game, if I'm not mistaken. And then the 27th man thing.
Brock Burke, who pitched yesterday, was designated for assignment. And Matt Festa, who's actually from Brooklyn, pitched for the Mets for a little while, I believe. He's up here.
Here's the 1-2 now. 2 men on. Soto with a shot. Fouls that off.
Yeah, Grant Anderson was returned to Round Rock after the game. He was the 27th man. Brock Burke also pitched yesterday, was designated for assignment. One of their really good pitchers, Josh Swartz, was on the 15-day IL with right shoulder fatigue, and they got the lefty Walter Pennington and Matt Festa, who's been around a while, from here.
Soto, a little nibbler up the third base line. Out it goes foul. Well, the Rangers did a smart job there. Heaney ran over, jumped over the third base line, and Young waited for that ball to spin foul, or that would have been an RBI single. About a foot foul when Young picked it up.
As soon as it crosses that line, you pick up that ball because they have been known to go back the other way.
So DJ goes back to third. Verdugo walking back to first. And Aaron Judge stood the bat up on its barrel for Soto to pick up. I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that before either. That's funny.
That's standing straight up and down, courtesy of Aaron Judge.
Just so he doesn't have to bend over.
I have never seen that before.
He's a teammate.
Yeah, a good one, too. So 1-2 now on Soto. Fouled the last 2 pitches from Heaney off. Out of the stretch. LeMahieu on third. Takes that pitch inside. Almost caught him at the belt buckle. 2-2 now.
It'll change up when you're on him.
Yanks try to win the third game, the rubber game, if you will, of this series after splitting the doubleheader yesterday. Soto's already gone yard once today. Aaron Judge on deck. He's 2 for 2. Soto's in the box with both feet now. Heaney staring at first base. That's Alex Verdugo on first. The 2-2. Lined right into the glove of Lowe. who steps on first base to double up Alex Verdugo. He hit that ball on the screw, Susan, but in the wrong spot.
Well, you can't do anything about that. And third baseman Young is just clapping into his glove. That was hit like a bullet.
Yep.
He jumped as high as he could. Lowe did, and easily. There's no way that anybody could get back to first with that.
Yeah, Lowe tried to tag him at first, and then just said, "Why don't you just step on the bag?"
Here we go. Another intentional walk for Aaron Judge because first base is open, and you would do that too. And really, that's not going to stop until you put someone in back of Judge. So maybe this switching Soto and Judge is a pretty good idea. And here comes Bruce Bochy, and that will be all for Andrew Heaney.
Andrew Heaney's coming out with men on first and third, and Giancarlo Stanton coming up.
And we'll wait for Boch to get out there before he makes the sign. He's walking slowly, but someone's coming in, so I guess that's true. The pitching change is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play the newest scratch-off game. Jose Leclerc. And Leclerc, as we said yesterday, has served as a closer last year. He pitched a lot of big-time innings in the World Series. So Bruce Bochy not giving up on this game now. Still very reachable for them, and they want to stop this right here.
Well, the Yankees had two men on. Soto hit a bullet to first base. Nathaniel Lowe doubled off Verdugo. Nothing Verdugo could have done about it. Aaron Judge gets intentional walk. I know Yankee fans hate it. Look, it's a smart play. First base is open. There's two outs. Stanton's up. Stanton, though, yesterday hit 461 feet. See if he's swinging early against Leclerc. Judge fakes the run. Ground ball down to third. Well, Stanton can't run, so that's an easy throw. And Stanton is out at first. But wait a minute now.
I think it's a foul ball.
Are they calling that a foul ball? That is a foul ball. Stanton will walk the 90 feet back to the plate. DJ goes back to third. Aaron goes back to first.
Well, it bounces. He fielded it on the other side of third base. Hit.
All right, so maybe a break here for the Yankees. 0-1 to Stanton, who is swinging at the first pitch from Leclerc. See if Judge actually takes off for second base. He faked it on the last pitch. He doesn't even have a lead, so I imagine he won't. DJ off third. The 0-1 swung on and missed by Stanton, 0-2.
You look at what Stanton's done against Leclerc. Small sample size, but 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
And he's a strike away from making that a third strikeout. Sac fly in the first, walked in the third. And trying to get a hit to give the Yanks a third run or maybe more. Aaron Judge takes off for second. Pitches high and inside. No throw down to second. Aaron Judge has a stolen base.
Well, my guess is that Leclerc is not paying attention because there's two outs here and the only one that can really hurt you. If he gets a hit, now you've got 2 runs and not 1.
Well, but 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stanton, the pitch. Inside, 2-2. That inside pitch isn't his bugaboo. It's obviously the outside pitch that he sometimes swings at wildly.
Well, the inside pitch was last year. Now that he's leaner,
overcompensating. 2-2, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Leclerc, Stanton, a line drive to left, deep to the wall. God! A 3-run home run by Giancarlo Stanton. Just what the doctor ordered for the New York Yankees.
That's the unicorn swing that Aaron Boone calls it. It looks like he's hardly swinging. All of a sudden, he's got the quickest bat speed you'd ever seen, and that took off, and Langford didn't even move. He turned right around. Everyone stood up in the grandstand. You knew where that was going. He has that kind of swing. The nice line drive swings. That's what they call the unicorn swing.
And think about what happened at the start of that at-bat. Lazy ground ball down the third base line. That was fielded foul. He gets a couple extra pitches and hits one into the left field seats. A 3-run home run for Giancarlo Stanton, and the Yanks now lead 5-0.
Well, wait. Well, you see where this ball is. How did he hit this? It was down. Look where this ball. Oh, it's a different one, but it's down on the outside, almost on the ground.
Austin Wells takes a ball. We missed the first pitch to Austin. It was also a ball, so 2-0.
Watch this. Look where this ball is when he hits it.
That ball
is down around his shins.
Yeah. Yep. Good extension. And obviously when he turns on the ball, it goes.
Whole bottom half just stays level.
Austin Wells takes a called strike, 2-1. What an at-bat. So you walk Aaron Judge, that's what you get. I'm looking at it one more time here. And, yeah, he reached out for it.
Look where it is. Look where that pitch is. It's on the other side of the plate.
Wells swings through a pitch for strike 2. Wow. 2-2. Yeah, there's not a lot of major leaguers that hit that ball. He just hit it. His right knee was almost touching the ground.
It was amazing.
He now has 13
20-plus home run seasons.
Not
Next
bad.
is Freddie Freeman has 10. Bryce has 10.
The 2-2 to Wells, strike 3. But the damage is done. A 3-run home run by Giancarlo Stanton. And after 5, the New York Yankees lead 5-0 over the Texas Rangers on WFAN Yankees Radio. Electrify.
That's 833-ONECYBR.
Hi, this is Gleyber Torres, and you are listening to Yankees Baseball on the Fan.
Top of the 6th brought to you by New York State AFL-CIO, keeping New York State Union strong. Susan, tell everybody how high that ball was hit by Stanton.
Oh, this is really funny because our engineer, Matt Shorter, said, I have a feeling that launch angle is going to be comically low. And
He was right.
I'm not a big launch angle thing, but this is actually funny.
1-0 now, sorry.
That went out as a 17-degree
line
drive, which is the same as Aaron Judge's single.
It was a rope. It was an absolute rope, which is why Langford didn't move. You were right about that.
And Soto's was 35 degrees, but it was the same launch angle as Aaron's single, which is
crazy.
It is comically funny. Matt, you're absolutely right.
Well, he may have lost some weight, but he's still strong. The 1-1 now to Smith is a called ball, 2-1, top of the order.
He says he did not lose weight. He told me it's just redistributed.
Okay.
All his clothes are the same. He looks
now.
different. Yeah, he does, but he said he didn't lose weight. It's interesting.
I'd love to know that secret. The 2-1 swung out of foul, straight back 2-2.
Well, I think it's the difference between like a swimmer and a weightlifter. You got the same amount of weight, you just want to redistribute it.
Mine's on my butt. I'm not going to lie about it. You can't pick where it goes. It just kind of goes there.
Yes, actually you can.
You can, you? 2-2 now to Smith. Fouls one back. We'll redo 2-2. Smith 0 for 2 today.
This drive around the league is brought to you by Meineke Car Care Centers. Touch your keys with Meineke.
So Stroman's at 80 pitches. We're in the top of the 6th. Yankees couldn't be any happier with this.
If you could get out of this inning, that's fine.
Stroman line drive foul, right side into the stands.
Angels win another one. They beat Washington 6-4. Jacob Young did have his second home run for Washington.
The 2-2 now. Smith, the leadoff hitter for Texas, takes high, ball 3.
Jake Berger had his 22nd home run of the year, and Miami is leading San Diego 5-1. They're in the top of the 6th in Miami. Now, the Padres have won 7 straight. Milwaukee leading Cincinnati 2-0, top of the 4th. Joey Ortiz had his 8th.
3-2's just outside. Stroman walks the leadoff hitter. He had a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. Not so lucky here in the 6th as Smith gets on base for the first time. Corey Seager now up. Corey's also 0 for 2 today. He hit into that. Again, it's a single, but Soto threw him out at second back in the 1st, and then he flew out to dead center back in the 3rd. And now with the man on and nobody out, we'll see what Seager's got. See what Stroman's got. First pitch outside, 1-0.
Houston has a 5-0 lead over Boston. They just scored 4 in the top of the 5th. They're at Fenway Park. Houston has won 4 in a row. Alex Bregman is 17th. Yordan Alvarez. Those two are now hitting home runs every day. Yordan Alvarez hit his 25th.
The 1-0 taken low for a ball, 2-0. There's somebody warming up in the Yankee bullpen now. It's a righty, I can tell you that. See if we can figure out who that is. Pitch count's not a problem for Stroman. Man on first is Smith. 2-0 to Seager. Outside 3-0. Okay.
And Oakland has a 7-1 lead over Toronto. They are in the top of the 6th. They're in Toronto. Baltimore, Anthony Santander, his 35th home run of the year. Baltimore leads Tampa Bay 1-0. They're in the 6th.
3-0 swinging and hits the ball foul. Just foul the first base bag. LeMahieu gloves it and throws the ball into the crowd.
My guess is it's at this time of the game. My guess is it's Jake Cousins. Let me get.
There's only one pitcher out there warming up for the Yanks. Stroman's at 87 pitches now.
And that's Jake Cousins.
Got it. Here's the 3-1. Taken for a called strike. Good job by Stroh to get back. After falling behind 3-0, he's now got the count full.
Cleveland and Minnesota all tied up at 1 on a pair of solo home runs. Jose Ramirez, his 31st for Cleveland. Byron Buxton, his 15th for Minnesota.
Yanks were in first place for a couple hours yesterday as Smith takes off for second base. Ball's lined into the right field corner. Soto over to get it. They're waving Smith home. Soto's throw comes into Glaber. The run scores without a throw, and that's a stand-up double and an RBI for Corey Seager, making it 5-1 Yanks.
And Wells now standing out beyond home plate. Going to slow down a little bit.
Well, look, Marcus had a man on in the first, had a man on in the second, had a man on in the third, had a man on in the fourth, and now a couple guys on here in the sixth. So
this is more than they could have expected from Marcus Stroman. He's done a great job. Marcus Stroman is not He's a ground ball pitcher. He's a contact hitter, so he's going to give up runs. His job is to keep the team in the game, and this is what he's not Garrett Cole. This is what he's supposed to do. Now Austin Wells is out talking to Marcus.
There's also fans may like this. There's a mental aspect to this too, where he's done a great job. His first game in over a week, and you kind of want to take him out feeling good about himself and about his performance. Now, it looks like they're going to grab him now, and that's right off, obviously, an RBI double. But Stroman did what he needed to do today. 89 pitches, 1-run ball. He got out of trouble a couple times.
He did indeed. A good job. This is who he is. His job, and he's going to get a nice hand, and they have already started giving him a nice hand. The standing ovation here, good for Marcus Stroman. He knew what he needed to do. Even the Yankee dugout giving him a lovely applause down there. This is...
Do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
And the new pitcher is Jake Cousins, who has done such a great job since they brought him up.
So it was funny, during the pitching change, Aaron Judge and Soto were encouraging the left center field crowd and the bleacher creatures over in right center to cheer louder.
Right.
And whichever section cheered louder, they threw a ball to.
They do. The Verdugo and Judge and Soto do that.
That was great. First pitch from Cousins is that lone outside for a ball to Marcus Semien. We got a man on second, that's Seager. He just had the RBI that put the Rangers on the board. Nobody out here in the sixth. Semien takes outside 2-0.
Well, thinking fastball at 95. Cousins is a strikeout pitcher, and that's what we've seen from him. Done a good job since he's come up.
Semien walked in the first, grounded out in the third. Here's the 2-0. Takes for a called strike. There you go.
He went with the slider there, fastball slider.
Slider at 82 miles per hour. Playing him straight away across the infield and in the outfield. Marcus Semien batting .243. Here's the 2-1. Just barely makes contact with it, but fouls it straight back. 2-2 now. So Stroman gives up 1 run. 5 full innings pitched. Got into the 6th. Walked Smith. Gave up the RBI double to Seager. And that brings in Jake Cousins. The 2-2 pitch coming now to Semien. Outside, full count, 3-2.
Semien last year, a lot of really big hits. Here comes.
Looks like someone's coming out now of the Yankee dugout.
Yeah, that's the pitching coach, Matt Blake, out to talk to. Can I go out there? You can't go out there because it's the. Can I go out there? No, I guess I can't.
So, Matt Blake was walking out of the dugout towards the mound. The home plate umpire said, "What are you doing?"
Well,
Matt said, "Can I go out there?" I don't know what the home plate umpire said, but now he's out there.
All right. Well, they he probably got confused because Boone was just out there. So
right,
that
for the
was
change.
Right. But he probably got confused.
Now, look, he's got to face 3 batters, but you are allowed to go out there and make 1 visit, right?
Well, yeah, before you take him up, but I think maybe Carapazza, well, he's the crew chief, so he must know.
Huh. So they must have seen something delivery-wise, I imagine, out of Cousins.
Well, and he was out there pretty quickly, so I think that probably is right. And if you noticed, you can go out to the line. See, he never crossed the line until
the first base line, yeah,
the foul line, until Carapazza said he could go. I'm not quite sure what that was all about.
Find out afterwards. What he must have. You're right. He saw something. Or maybe they were just, figuring out where to go for dinner tonight.
No, we're getting on a plane and going to Chicago, so maybe they're going to make.
Well, you got to go to Gibson's then if you're going to Chicago. The 2-2 is swung on a miss, so he got the strikeout of Simeon. Good job by Cousins there, fighting back.
See, I think that the strange thing is that it was in the middle of an at-bat, and that's probably what was going on, because he saw something that he didn't like. And you don't
whatever it was, it worked.
You don't go out in the middle of an at-bat.
Josh Young now up. Seager still on second. Rangers have 1 run in the inning. There's 1 out. Jake Cousins now. Line drive right up the middle. That's going to score Seager from... No, it's not going to score Seager, as he's held up at third. Okay.
Well, not with Judge's arm. You don't run on Judge. You might run on some other people, but you're not going to run on Judge.
So down 4 runs, the Rangers decide to go 90 feet at a time. Young with the line drive single right up the box. And now we got first and third for Wyatt Langford. Gibson Steakhouse in Chicago was really made famous by former Columbia quarterback and Chicago Bears star Sid Luckman, who still, I know he's long passed away, has a booth at the bar Gibson's? There that's known as the Luckman booth. Yeah.
Okay.
Great steakhouse. First pitch here to Langford, swung on a miss, 0-1. First and third now for Texas. Still just 1 out, the strikeout of Simeon. They got something cooking here. Let's see if Cousins can help out. The 0-1 to Langford. That pitch wasn't near the plate, and he swung anyway. 0-2.
That was a great slider. Totally fooled on that.
Yep. You always wonder if guys go up there for certain pitches and they just say, I'm swinging at this pitch no matter what.
Are they guess? And I think he's going to throw me one of his fastballs, and then all of a sudden it darts away.
The 0-2, got him looking. Big strikeout by Jake Cousins for the second out of the inning. Nice job.
Now, did you know that Jake Cousins is Kirk Cousins' cousin?
I did not.
They're first cousins.
Really?
And Kirk and his family have been here a couple times.
Huh.
Jake was a quarterback. He said, don't confuse me with my cousin. I wasn't that good. But, yeah, they're first cousins.
I did not know that.
Kind of cool.
Kirk Cousins, of course, down in Atlanta now with the Falcons.
Well, he came with his family.
First pitch now to Nathaniel Lowe's, a called strike. See, again, I told you yesterday, DNA.
Right.
The Cousins got it, the Cartons don't. That's why I blame my parents.
Okay.
I don't speak to them that often because of it. Are there athletic Waldmans?
My dad was pretty.
Yeah,
was pretty
good athlete?
Yeah, was, yeah.
The 0-1 to Lowe. Taken for a called strike, too. Well, this would be something if Jake Cousins comes in here and gets out of this with no further damage done. First and third. Seager's on third. Young is on first after the line drive up the middle. The 0-2. Got him! Swinging. 3 strikeouts in the inning, and Cousins does his job. Only 1 run across the board for the Rangers, and going to the bottom.
at nrc.com.
Well, he just got here, but this is going to be a terrific moment for Matt Festa from Brooklyn. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Staten Island. He's been around, 31 years old, was drafted by the Mariners. Grew up a Yankee fan, and I always think, Craig, when somebody comes in, I mean, this is he knows that he was just brought up. He spent the whole year in Round Rock, but here he is at a full Yankee stadium. Grew up a Yankee fan and from here. It's going to be a great moment.
Yeah, I imagine he's got some family and friends here as well. First pitch to Gleyber Torres is off the plate. Ball one.
He had he was with the Mets for a minute and a half this year. He was up once, I think.
Gleyber hits a sharp ground ball down the third base line. Young with a big arm, but Lowe can't scoop the ball out of the dirt and save at first base is Gleyber. If anything, that's going to be an error on Lowe. That was a good play there down to third by Young. Deep to the backhand in foul territory, throws it across his body to first. Plenty of time, and Lowe just couldn't scoop it on a hop.
Well, I think they gave him a hit.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if usually they
the throw beat him.
It did, but it bounced. So usually if it bounces, they give the error to the guy who threw it. But they gave him a hit.
Jazz swings at the first pitch from Festa.
I thought that's what I said. Yeah, they still got just one error, and that was the error on Young in the first inning, on Verdugo.
So Jazz Chisholm are the man on base now. Festa's second pitch is outside. 1-1. So Gleyber's on base for the first time today. Yanks up 5-1 here in the bottom of the sixth.
So Festa's been with three organizations this year: San Diego, the Mets, and now Texas.
And in at Yankee Stadium. Pretty good.
You just got here.
Just outside, 2-1.
Yeah,
and if you're Festa, and you know you got friends and family here, deep down inside you're saying to yourself, make that play at first base.
But you wonder if he got here in time to call people.
Oh, that's a good point. Guess what? I'm in town.
I'm here. Can I have supper?
Jazz fouls the ball off his foot. I think he did that yesterday also.
What is going on with these foul balls off people's insteps?
Now, yesterday I thought he did right at the bottom of the knee, right?
Yeah, that hit the knee. Oh, this hit the ankle.
Yeah, underneath. He's got the shin guard on, but it didn't protect
it always
anything.
Misses. Jorge Posada always says it never hits the shin guard. It always hits the place where there's nothing.
Trainer's out to take a look at Jazz right now.
And the ankle, and he's trying to, that painful. You don't want it on that bone in the ankle.
It's funny. When I watch him, and certain athletes are like this, he's just so, I know people say smooth jazz, it's a saying, but athletically, it's sweet to watch a great athlete like him because it is so pure and smooth. Like Robinson Cano had a lot of that.
Yeah.
Where it just looks different.
He's trying to put weight on it. He's on the bat trying to shake off the pain. If it hit him right on the ankle, you get this pain that goes all up and down your leg, right? Like hitting a funny bone.
Yep. Aaron Boone's out of the dugout, consoling. Let me take one more look at it. He's got the shin guard. And it did hit the shin guard, it looked like, Susan.
It did, and then right off the ankle. So is he coming back? Yeah. Sort of leaning on the bat.
Yeah, what happened was it hit the shin guard, but he rolled the ankle a little bit. And so I think that's more of rolling the ankle than it is the ball actually hitting the ankle. Either way, looks like he's going to get back into the batter's box. Hopefully I'm giving him an extra second to kind of collect himself. So it's a 2-2 count to Chisholm. Gleyber's on first after the mistake by Lowe not being able to pick up the one-hopper on the long throw by Young. Chisholm takes, that was close, but outside. Full count. You almost feel like home plate up felt bad for him and may have given him one there. Maybe not. Full count now to Jazz. Had 2 home runs yesterday. 1 in each game. Gleyber, a couple feet off first, the 3-2. Grounded foul, first base side.
Yeah, he's in some pain here. Still is trying to walk this off.
See what they do defensively based on how the bottom of the sixth goes here with Jazz. He's asked for time. Yeah, he's feeling it right now.
Yeah, no, he really is. And the home plate umpire has got the whisk broom out.
You know, they always make a point at home plate. You never whisk the home plate with your butt facing the crowd. That's an umpire's rule.
Is that a rule?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you make that up?
No, I swear.
Where is it? It's in the rule book?
It's in the rule book.
If I get my rule book, which is right here, I'm going to look. What do I look at?
I don't know what number it's under. Ground ball through the infield on the right side. Headed to third is Glaber. He'll make it standing up. And that's a big single for Jazz Chisholm.
You know who he reminds me of? Doesn't he remind you of Mickey Rivers? Mickey would get hurt. No, the way Mickey would after he got hurt, like he's dead. And then all of a sudden he gets a hit and he's running to first base and then steals second to boot. There's something about him that just reminds me of Mickey Rivers. Mickey, by the way, don't let him fool you, he was a really good player.
Yeah. Mickey's great, too.
He's terrific. Still around? Yes, he does.
Great with kids, too. If you ever want to see kids smile ear to ear, watch them spend 5 minutes with Mickey Rivers. First and third, nobody out for Volpe. Takes high and inside, ball one.
Jazz does that, too. You know, I see him with little kids.
Is he great with kids?
He's terrific. And the more you learn about him.
And guess what, Susan? He's got the Statue of Liberty sliding mitts on.
Oh, yeah? No, he's got those on, too. Not the ice cream cone today.
There you go. I wonder if he takes off for second. Double play depth by the Rangers. And he elicits a throw to first and just gets back inside.
See, he's dancing around there like nothing happened. Right. This is Mickey. This is Mickey Rivers. He would get hit by a pitch and you'd think, I can't make it. I just can't make it. All of a sudden, he's running amok out there.
Jazz leading off first. Glaber's at third. Yanks have a 4-run lead in the bottom of the second. Nobody out. Chisholm goes. Ball's fouled off. Well, he got a great jump, too. Wow. He's like, all that running for nothing.
No, he's great. Loves it.
So Mickey Rivers tells a great story. Maybe it's urban legend, but he's the one telling it. That back in the day, I guess it was 77, 78, late 70s, he went to George Steinbrenner and wanted a raise. Okay? And he went to Mr. Steinbrenner's office, and he had it set in his mind that he wanted a $10,000 raise. Mm-hmm. First and third for the Yanks, nobody out. Here's the 1-1 to Volpe. Volpe skies one foul. So Mr. Steinbrenner, I guess, loved Mickey and said, well, what do you want? He goes, I want $10,000. He goes, great. You deserve it. You had a great year. I'll give it to you. It'll be in your next check. And Mickey, I guess, liked to play the ponies back in the day, said, no, Mr. Steinbrenner, I need it today, now, in cash. Okay? I'll finish in a second. 1-2 to Volpe. Volpe skies one on the right side. Leaking foul. Coming over to make the play is Garcia. And he squeezes it in foul territory for the first out.
And for some reason, he ran all the way to first base, and I'm not quite sure why.
So as the urban legend goes, Mr. Steinbrenner went into his safe in his office and handed Mickey $10,000 in cash during spring training. Mickey put it in his back pocket of his baseball pants. He's now playing a preseason game with 10 G's in his back pocket. He steals second base, and money goes out. It goes everywhere. And Mickey took the time to start picking up $100 bills off the infield dirt. Mickey Rivers. Jazz, it's another throwback to first. And people swear that happened. Yeah.
Well, I know one that did happen when Goose Gossage got here. When he first came out, he couldn't get anybody out at all. And they used to have the car in the bullpen then, the white car, the pinstripe car. And this I know is true because Goose tells it all the time, that once they called him in.
Chisholm takes off for second, no throw, stolen base.
And Mickey jumped on the hood of the cover, covered the windshield and said, no, no, no.
He's a treat. He is an absolute treat. Second and third now for DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu singled and scored back in the fifth. Boy, he could get a big hit now, get 2 RBIs out of it. Let's see what we got. Takes the call at strike 1-1. So Yanks up 5-1. Bottom of the sixth.
Well, Andrew Chafin, the lefty, is now warming for Texas.
Festa pitching from Brooklyn and Staten Island. Glaber on third, Jazz on second. A flare to right, Garcia over. Tagging from third is Glaber. The throw comes in. Safe at the plate. Safe at home. Glaber Torres scores the 6-run for the New York Yankees. Going to third base is Jazz on the throw, and DJ LeMahieu gets a sacrifice fly RBI.
All right, so he's had a single today and a sacrifice fly, has DJ.
You heard John Sterling talking about Eastchester Jeep in the Bronx, his new Jeep Cherokee. Check out the full line of vehicles at Eastchester Jeep. They're just a fly ball away from Yankee Stadium on Boston Road in the Bronx. Little meeting on the mound now. Kelly and Young talking to Festa as the Jumbotron asking the Yankee fans to get loud.
Well, I think Bochy is just standing at the top of the dugout steps, so my guess is with the lefty, they bring in the lefty Chafin here. And here he comes.
So that was a good job by DJ LeMahieu. Sacrifice fly to right, and Gleyber Torres came in way ahead of the throw.
Well, he's going to bring in the lefty to face the lefty Verdugo. Will step out right now. This is the New York Yankees Radio Network.
Ah, summer is here. Time for video calls, eating lunch at your desk, and navigating office politics.
Wait, that's not what summer's for.
But my inbox is full.
Inbox schminbox.
Wow.
And it's I think that's really cool. During spring training, Matt was reminding me that he was excited about being a Yankee because there are stadiums he's never been to. So we're trying to figure out, it was maybe Oakland, Seattle. Remember that it would be those kinds of teams that he just had never played in.
If we had a great research director, it'd be nice to know how many other guys have hit home runs against every team. Can't be a lot, right?
Probably not.
Man on third, that's Jazz Chisholm. Here's Alex Verdugo. And the first pitch almost clips him. 1-0.
I mean, you'd figure, well, it has to be somebody that's played since expansion. I mean, since interleague, right?
Right.
And that would be, what is that, 1997?
And you got to play probably a good decade. Close to it. The 1-0 now to Verdugo. Inside again, 2-0.
I know that it's Sunday, but Katie Sharp, if you're out there, she would know the answer immediately.
Text us. Jazz at third. He's still got the Statue of Liberty oven mitts on. The 2-0 now. Verdugo takes inside again. 3-0. Soto on deck. Verdugo scored the Yankees' first run back in the first.
A lot of people. Whoa.
Is there a lot?
Yeah, there are. And they're active. The active players. Bryce Harper, Giancarlo Stanton, Marcell Ozuna, Mookie Betts, Carlos Santana.
Wow. 3-0 taken for a called strike. Verdugo's been on base twice. Don't get back in the fifth. He was doubled up from first base on that line drive off the bat of Soto.
Kyle Schwarber, Matt Olson, Nick Castellanos, Hunter Renfroe, a lot of people. Martin Maldonado. It keeps going on.
Line drive to left. Langford's got it, and that'll do it. So the Yanks get one more. They match the Rangers run in the sixth.
And those are just regular players that are playing now. There's a lot.
NBA here at Yankee Stadium. We go to the top of the 7th. Yanks right now with a comfortable 5-run lead.
There's some interesting people on this list, including Brett Boone, including Phil Nevin. The first one that we've got since they started keeping track of these things is Glenn Allen Hill.
Toronto Blue Jays. Garcia just swung at a pitch that was 3 feet off the plate. Cousins will take it, though. 0-1 now. The 0-1 to Garcia. Way outside, didn't swing at that one, 1-1. Garcia got on back in the second and then flew out to left in the fifth. He's 0-1, batting .216 now.
Dane Dunning, who travels between the starting rotation and the bullpen, is warming up for Texas now.
Texas already been through 4 pitchers today.
Tommy Kahnle and Tim Hill out there.
So 1-1 now. Cousins did a great job striking out the side back in the 6th. The 1-1's just outside, 2-1. Where you get 2 innings out of Jay Cousins, you take that.
He's been great. I had asked about because a lot of these guys, a lot of us hadn't heard of when they arrived. And
right. Off-speed pitch called strike. That was a slider, pardon me, 82 miles per hour. Looked good.
And a lot of the reason why we haven't heard of him is because of injuries. Aaron Boone said no, he always had good stuff. He just kept getting injured, so you don't hear about him. But he's been in the minor league system. I think last year they got him.
The 2-2 to Garcia, ground ball through the hole on the right side. If you're Jay Cousins, that's got to bother you. Wow, he takes a huge turnaround first, but no one's there at first base defensively, and he gets back to the bag. That is a slow ground ball on the right side. If you're Jay Cousins, you're like, man, that's a ground ball out. What do you want me to do?
It was just in the wrong place, and here comes Aaron Boone right off the end of the bat, and it was really, that's why he gets paid too.
You're true. So a leadoff single for Garcia. Tavares is up.
And here is Aaron Boone. That's it. And that'll be Tommy Kahnle coming in. This is the New York Yankees Radio Network.
Paid actors represent actual clients.
After my car crash, the insurance company
fastball and changeup, so you have a 50% chance of guessing right.
To me, this is one of the issues, baseball-wise. Cousins threw 15, 16 pitches. He gave up 1 hit in the 7th. He struck out the side in the 6th, and poof, he's gone with a 5-run lead. All right, 2 things.
Yes. I'll tell you, first of all, you've got the changeup pitcher, and you got a lefty here.
Jazz Chisholm has his hat off. He's walking to the mound now. And now the home plate ump's there.
He's having,
Austin
I think
Wells
there's some
there.
pitch comm problems. That he's got his hat off.
Technology issue?
Yes, well, a technology issue, and here comes one of the
ball boys
with either a new...
Yeah, you're right. I guess So Canely has his hat off now, and he handed him something. I imagine that's the pitch comp.
That's probably the pitch. Well, the Jazz has his off, too, because there are 5 pitch comps.
Okay.
And it's the pitcher, the catcher obviously have them. Then there are 3 others, and it's usually 2 of the infielders. Sometimes it's the second baseman. It's always the shortstop.
Right.
And sometimes an outfielder. You can have 5. I wonder if Jazz has one. Anthony Volpe loves the pitch com because they call pitches, and he gets to see whether they hit the spot or not. He thinks that's great. He loves it with Stroman. He watches because they'll press it, and he knows what they're calling, and he loves to look and see where it is.
So this is a weird question. When you push the button, does the player hear fastball, curveball? He does.
Fastball, right side, or whatever they say.
Okay, so they actually hear that.
Yep.
Okay. Pitches inside. It's Canely's first pitch to Tavares.
I don't know if he did it, but when it started, I remember JT Realmuto, there was a rumor going around that the Phillies had it in his voice, that he did all the things. And I don't know if it actually happened, but that would be cool, actually.
Yeah, if you could pick it, that would be cool. The 1-0 is taken for a called strike, 1-1 now. Yanks up 6-1, top of the 7th. Rangers scored their only run just an inning ago in the 6th. Now they've got Garcia on first. He had the leadoff single, and now Tavares. Volpe about 3 feet behind second base. Dead center almost. That ball's fouled straight back. So 1-2 now.
So sometimes it's not the pitch count at all. It's who would be better against that particular batter. He's brought in to face a lefty, but Tommy has a really great changeup, which lefties have trouble with.
I would have left Cousins in myself. But I'm also not the manager of the New York Yankees.
Well, maybe he hits sliders very well.
Short lead off first for Garcia. The 1-2 now to Tavares, high and outside, 2-2.
Well, of course, if you don't throw strikes, it doesn't matter.
It's funny, yesterday, I noticed when Luke Weaver came in, and his warm-up pitches were all over the place.
Yeah.
Then, of course, he had a tough outing
yesterday. It was a bad day.
Yeah.
That was a bad day for him. He's been so good. And even Garrett Cole.
2-2 is lifted towards the third base line. Foul territory. Jazz has a beat on it. Makes the play. Garcia's not going anywhere. So 1 away now in the 7th.
And Garrett Cole, said he's been so good. We're talking about Luke Weaver. He's been so good for us all year. He's been elite. You do have.
Yep, especially at home. His ERA was just over 1.
Yeah, he's been spectacular.
I'm sure he had a sleepless night last night.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
And then you put it back. Mariano used to give himself, I'll be okay, and he got down to about 10 minutes, and then he could. Well, when you're a closer, you have to.
First pitch to Kelly's in the dirt, 1-0. Garcia stays at first.
The only time we had to wait was in '97 when he was. The Arizona one was tough, but not as tough as the double by the home run by Sandy Alomar in '97. That one took him a while because he thought it was a great pitch, and he didn't understand it.
1-0 is outside, 2-0. When you're at that level and you throw your best pitch and someone hits it
out of the park,
it's hard to figure it out.
Yeah, I would have thought that but also that was his first year really as the closer, '97, because '96 was John Wetland.
2-0 now to Kelly. Takes a half swing at it, went around 2-1. I was in Cleveland from 92 to 93, just as that Indian team with Charles Nagy and Carlos Baerga, and a guy that I think belongs in the Hall of Fame, Albert Bell, was one of the best power hitters of his generation. Just wasn't liked by the media, which I think is part of it. I guess you could argue his stats a little bit. Takes a called strike, 2-2. Albert Bell, the greatest chess player I've ever played chess with. Couldn't beat him.
Wait a minute.
True story.
You know Albert Bell?
Not personally now, no. I was a kid in Cleveland doing sports talk radio on 3WE.
You played chess with him?
Played chess with Albert Bell.
So he doesn't know you now?
Probably.
He knew you then, but he doesn't know you now?
30 years.
Was he Joey then, or was he Albert?
He had just switched from Joey to Albert.
You didn't know I knew that, did you?
Ground ball to third, charging his Jazz. Can't handle the ball. So safe at first base is going to be Kelly with an infield single. Going to second base is Garcia. First and second now with 1 out.
And that is a base hit, and that was it hit really, really slowly, and it looks like he was thinking of where he's going to throw the ball. He gets it, and he picked his head up, and sometimes that does it right there. That slow ride, he might not have gotten him anyway.
Yeah, he did. He went with the glove hand instead of barehanded, but couldn't quite get it out of the glove. So now we've got first and second with one out.
And that's also, don't forget, he's played third base for a week and a half.
Right.
So he always little things, and he's over there practicing, sort of taking the ball, sort of miming taking the ball out of the glove.
Anthony Volpe almost directly behind second base. The first pitch to Josh Smith, the Rangers leadoff hitter's outside for a ball, 1-0. You get the sense this is the inning. If you're a Texas fan, this is the inning. If you're a Yankee fan, got to get out of this inning. First and second, one out, the 1-0. Swung right through it, 1-1. He was swinging for right field seats. Tell you another little unknown fact about baseball people, if I may.
Yeah.
When I did radio in Denver, I was friendly with Jimmy Leland, Hall of Fame manager, of course. And you and Jim have something in common.
Well, besides that, we're really good friends.
A nice bunt down the third base side. No throw by Jazz Chisholm. And kind of caught the Yankee infield sleeping a little bit there. That is a good job by Josh Smith to lay down the bunt. And now we've got the bases loaded.
Yeah, that was an absolutely beautiful bunt. There was no way anyone was going to. That's absolutely perfect. Once it gets past the pitcher's mound, you're in trouble.
Yeah, beautiful bunt. Smart baseball right there by the leadoff hitter, Josh Smith. So Yanks in a little bit of trouble here. Bases loaded, 5-run lead. Canley's got to get somebody out. First pitch to Seager inside for a ball.
And this is the problem with Tommy, because usually when Tommy throws, he's got to get ahead, and he'll throw that changeup all the time, but if he doesn't throw it for strikes, you just forget about it and you sit on the fastball.
I would have left Cousins in, but we didn't. Bases loaded. Seager's up, doubled in the sixth. Swings through that pitch, 1-1. Jim Leland happens to be a fantastic singer. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yes, I know he sings.
Wonderful singer. Sings all the standards. Yeah.
Wonderful man.
And a good guy.
Wonderful man. Great manager.
1-1 now to Seager. Fouls that one off and breaks his bat in the process. So 1-2. It was a big at-bat for Canley to get out of this.
And it looks like a dart. Those can be so dangerous.
Yeah, that's firewood right there. Just looking at it again. Yeah, it's the end of the bat broke right off.
You know, he will just throw, and he's done it to this bit. Change-up after change-up after change-up.
Corey Seager's 2 for 3. Has the double, the RBI in the sixth. That's the Rangers' only run. Volpe still almost dead center behind second base. Chisholm closer to shortstop now. The 1-2. Just inside. 2-2.
Missing with that changeup. That's trying to figure out where that is, because that is his best pitch. Mark Leiter Jr. up. I guess he's going to pitch every day.
We're going to get to about 13 or 14 pitches in this game. Bases loaded. One out. Here comes the 2-2. Fouled. We'll do it again.
And that's
one out.
You know, he got the fastball, and he has not been throwing that fastball up at this velocity. That was 96. I'd asked him once. He said, you know, he used to throw 96, 97, so that the change would be at 90 and really be a good difference, but he threw really hard. Doesn't do that anymore, but got that one up to 96.
Garcia's on third. Kelly's on second. Fouled straight back. Josh Smith on first with the bunt single that advanced all the runners. One out. That was Tavares. That was the pop-up to third. Yankees outfield playing Seager straight away. Nobody holding anybody on any of the bases. Here comes the 2-2. Check swing. Got him. Big strikeout there. Big strikeout there for the second out of the inning.
And Seager, who never says a word, doesn't think that he went. He can't believe that he went. I'm not sure he did, but...
No. They had a nice close-up. The wrist didn't really break that much, but the third base umpire said, yeah, they did. So now we got 2 outs. Bases jacked. Semien takes high and inside, 1-0. Semien walked in the first, grounded out in the third, struck out in the sixth. He's 0 for 2 today. Yanks have a 5-run lead in the 7th. See what Tommy's got. The 1-0. Ground ball. Chisholm picks it, and he bobbles the ball. Goes into the outfield. Garcia scores. Kelly scores. To third base is Smith, and on first is Semien. Oh, boy.
Well, so Jazz Chisholm just crossed in front of Volpe. He went to get it. That's an instinct of a shortstop. And he went to go right and cross, but Volpe was there.
That was an easy ground ball for the third out.
Well, that'll be an error on Jazz. A little indecisive there. He saw Volpe coming. Your instinct is the shortstop. Your instinct is go and get it, but Volpe was standing right there.
So now it's 6-3 Yanks. 2 runs aboard here in the top of the 7th. First and third now. Smith on third, Semien on first, and here's Josh Young. Takes a called strike. Boy, that was a perfect ground ball to get out of the inning, like you said. Jazz jumped in front of Volpe, and the ball only hit the outside of his glove, excuse me. First and third, 2 outs. Grounded foul.
I think it's a little indecision of what to do because you can see Volpe out of your instinct is to go and get the ball.
Sure.
And then out of the corner of your eye, you see that Volpe is right there. So your head is up and then the ball is past you. That's what happens.
Well, Canley's got him 0-2 now. He did his job, but the defense betrayed him. See if we can get out of the inning with a strikeout here. First and third outside, 1-2. Yankees hanging on to a 3-run lead, top of the 7th. Rangers scored 1 in the 6th, now 2 in the 7th.
Meanwhile, Tommy Canley's up to 25 pitches because he's not throwing strike 1.
Infield's playing straight away, as is the outfield. 1-2 now, out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Volpe.
Again.
Glaber runs in front of him, but makes the throw to first, and they got him at first base. Boy, oh boy. Between Jazz Chisholm and Glaber Torres, nobody wants Anthony Volpe to field the ground ball, but the Yanks get out of it without any more damage done. Few runs across. It's now 6-3 Yankees going to the bottom of the 7th. On WFAN Yankees Radio, electrified by the Jeep 4xe lineup.
This broadcast is fueled by Citgo. Citgo top-tier tri-clean gasoline gets you where you're going. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go.
Spectrum delivers with fast and reliable internet. And with Spectrum One, you get even more. Spectrum Internet, so you can work, game, and stream with speeds up to a gig. Plus advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and 1 Spectrum Mobile unlimited line, both free for 12 months. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all together with Spectrum One, starting at just $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Hard Rock Cafe announces the World Burger Tour Series. Out of 150 delicious entries created by our chefs worldwide, 5 made it to the lineup. In no particular order, leadoff hitter from India, the Bengaluru Burger. Next up is the Bucharest Burger from Romania. Third up from Brazil is the Gramato Burger. Clean up is the Pittsburgh Burger. And finally, the Kathmandu Burger from Nepal. Find them all at Hard Rock Cafe Yankee Stadium and Times Square until September 2nd, 2024.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah. Crazy story. I'm at the Nissan end of summer sales event when Laura, the saleswoman, asks,
"Want to test drive the Rogue?"
I'm like, let's go. We're driving when Laura says,
"Want to see something cool? VC turbo engine."
I hit the gas and whoosh. I'm like, okay, wasn't expecting that. Laura goes,
"Check this out."
She shows me the miles per gallon and I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive fuel economy.
These new Nissan Rogues are going fast.
I knew I had to have that Nissan Rogue. Crazy, right?
Wait till you hear how I got my Nissan Sentra.
Get a low $269 per month lease for 36 months on Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. Well-qualified lessees. 2024.
Needed there to get out of the inning without any runs scored. Little miscommunication between Jazz Chisholm jumping in front of Anthony Volpe on the ground ball. And then on the very next bat, Gleyber Torres did the same exact thing, crossing over past second base and jumped in front of Volpe, but he made the play.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot from Gleyber Torres going in front of it. He's got such a good arm that he can do that. I think this is what, as far as Jazz is concerned, Aaron Boone has said there's going to be growing pains with him, not just learning to play third base in the major league level, and I think that was one of the growing pains right there.
No doubt. So a 5-run lead is now 3. And Juan Soto leads off the bottom of the 7th now.
You know, it's not even that he has homered against all 30 teams. It's that he's homered against all 30 teams and he's 25.
Which is absurd. Absolutely absurd. First pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Well, there's a deep fly ball to right. She's got legs. Gone! Another bomb by Soto. His 30th home run of the year. And the Yankees now lead 7-3.
That was 406 feet. That was a moonshot. 406 feet, 106.6 miles an hour off of the bat. His second one today, and number 30. Unreal. Now, did you see the handshake that he gave?
I love it.
Do you know that everybody has a different handshake?
I've noticed that. I always wonder how you remember it. I couldn't do that. Soto's second home run of the game. Wow.
All right, this is his 30th 30-homer season. It's August, and he's 25. He's had 3 30-homer seasons already. It's his 22nd multi-homer game.
It's absurd. Aaron Judge takes off to play 2-0. Stanton's on deck. Who's on deck? Brought to you by On Deck. Need a small business loan? Fast apply at ondeck.com. You know, these are no doubt about it home runs, too. MVP chance. Aaron Judge, deep to right. It may go. Gone! Back to back. Aaron Judge is on the board with a right center field home run. And now it's 8-3 Yankees.
Number 42 for the captain. That one only 374 feet. That was a joke. And that was Aaron Judge's 42nd homer this season. The Judge home run counter is brought to you by the Judge family of interstate batteries. Every battery for every going down the gauntlet.
Leave this pitcher in. Oh, he's coming out.
It goes. It's enough for Chapin right now, and we'll be back after this. This is the New York Yankees Radio Network.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family. Together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Let's pause for station identification on WFAN Yankees Radio.
Your home for Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 6:30. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York.
New York Yankees have 4 home runs and back-to-back shots from Soto and Judge here in the 7th.
That's the 7th time they've had back-to-back homers in 2024.
Stanton hits a rope to short right at Seager, who makes the play. First out of the inning.
And for Judge, that is homer 299.
Oh, okay.
One more.
Okay. I mean, these home runs today, and it's not, don't tell me about the short porch or anything else. These have been bombs today. Absolute bombs. Austin Wells up, fouls one back.
That's the thing about Soto and Judge. They don't hit short porch home runs. They don't need the short porch.
Don't. Got a couple of home runs in the last 2 days, well over 400 feet, and they keep showing, at least on our monitors, some nuns enjoying Yankee baseball. It's great to watch that. Austin Wells ropes one into right center field, all the way to the wall. Wells digging for second. Stand-up double for Austin Wells. Nice job.
We'll repeat this again. This is the third 30-homer season for Juan Soto, and he's 25. Last year, his career high was last year. That was 35. He's got another month and a half.
He's different. He's absolutely different. Dunning, by the way, is the new pitcher.
Dane Dunning. Yep.
The Rangers.
Dane Dunning, right-hander. One of those.
One out here in the 7th. First pitch to Gleyber's outside for a ball, 1-0. Austin Wells on second with the double.
Dane Dunning was part of the deal when the Chicago White Sox traded Adam Eaton to the Nationals. Lucas Giolito, Reynaldo Lopez, and Dane Dunning went there. And then the Rangers got him. They traded Lance Lynn to the White Sox.
Takes the second pitch outside as well, 2-0 to Gleyber. Inning started with a home run by Soto, home run by Judge, hard line drive out by Stanton, and then the Wells double to right center. Wells, huge lead off second base. And now stepping out of the box is Torres, and they did grant him time. So that pitch did not count. Austin Wells came about 15 feet off the bag. I was making some movements with his arms, and looked like it distracted Dunning a bit.
45,318. That was a no pitch there, so he's still 2-0.
2-0. Swung on, fouled off the right side. That'll make the crowd about 15 rows deep. So 2-1 now to Gleyber. Gleyber's 1 for 3 today. Struck out his first at bat. Flew out to center and Singleton scored. Last inning in the 6th. Wells on second. The 2-1 to Gleyber. Way outside, 3-1.
Injuries can throw you a real curveball. If you've been injured in an accident, call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud sponsor of the New York Yankees.
So this is the 5th Rangers pitcher today. Dane Dunning. Wells on second, about 6 or 7 feet off the bag. The pitch to Gleyber. Taken outside for ball 4, first and second. That's going to bring up Jazz Chisholm. Jazz singled in the 6th, stole second base, got stranded at third.
And the Rangers, they don't have a day off either. They're headed to Boston, who has their own problems with pitching these days.
Yep, and Boston's still lurking there. About 5 or 6 games out of the wild card. So let's see what happens now with Chisholm. First and second. First pitch. Swings through it, strike 1. 0-1.
Well, Boston right now is getting pummeled by Houston. It's 10-2. They're in the 8th inning. This all happened with when James Paxton got hurt, had to come out in the 2nd inning.
The 0-1. Chisholm takes it for strike 2. I know purists hate it, but I love it.
What?
The wave at Yankee Stadium. You're not a fan, huh?
No.
I love the wave. Everybody's doing it. Look at that. 45,000 people. First and second, the 0-2 to Jazz. Line drive, rather a hard ground ball to first, over to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. So first and third, they get the force out at second. That's Torres. Going to third is Wells. And Jazz Chisholm safe at first. So now it's first and third. Anthony Volpe now. Struck out twice today. Still searching for his first hit of this game. Mired in a slump. I think 0 for his last 21, I think.
22 now.
22. Batting .251 on the year. First and third, 2 outs. Swinging at the first pitch, fouls it straight back. Don't forget, Chisholm stole second base last inning. He's got the Statue of Liberty sliding mitts on. He only had one on his left hand. Now he's got it on
no,
both
he has
hands.
both.
Yep, now he's got both on.
And he can slide with either hand.
See if he takes off again. He doesn't. And Volpe swings through that second pitch, 0-2.
I wonder how many he's actually got. Because the different gloves, we've seen that.
So the ice cream
cone was yesterday.
Right.
We haven't seen it at home. He's got a belt that is all multicolored, that sort of shimmers.
Like Joseph.
He's a character.
First and third, Volpe. 3 pitches, 3 swings, 3 strikes, and that'll end the threat right there. But the New York Yankees put a couple more runs on the board. Soto went yard, Judge went yard, and the New York Yankees have a big lead again as we go to the 8th inning on WFAN Yankees Radio, electrified by the Jeep 4xe lineup.
Play $10 million cash.
Is the next pitcher, and he pitches almost every day. Yes, he really does. I know, guys have a rubber arm, but
Well, comes in a different spot than he did yesterday. Yanks have an 8-3 lead here in the top of the 8th. First pitch swinging is Wyatt Langford.
8th inning sponsored by Local 3, IBEW, and Nika.
Langford's been on base once today. Had a single back in the 4th. Asked for time and gets it. It's 0-1. He fouled that first pitch off. Well, I mean, excitement here at Yankee Stadium, right? 4 home runs. Soto's got a couple. Judge went yard. Stanton went yard. The big lumber did its job today so far. Yanks with a 5-run lead. The 0-1's low and outside, 1-1. Game summary brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything everywhere. We have 5 pitchers for the Rangers. This is now the 4th pitcher for the Yanks and Leiter Jr. And
is that great?
That is, yeah, I just saw a picture of Leiter Jr. is about a 3-year-old on a Major League Baseball field. The Leiter family, as you may know, very good at baseball.
That's Dad, and I believe that must have been way back because that was Michael Kay on there, and Mark Jr. was like 3 or 4. I remember seeing him when he came to see Uncle Al here,
right?
Little boy.
Pitches outside.
I think he was in a. Now. Wasn't that a Philly uniform that Mark had?
It looked like it was. I only caught it for a second. It looked like it was Phillies, though.
Because when Mark Leiter was here at the beginning of his career, Junior wasn't born, and he was here in 1990. So.
Yeah, he looked like about a 3 or 4-year-old kid there. Here's the 2-2 outside, full count. You need a guy like Leiter Jr., a guy that can come in multiple games in a week. Yep.
Tough as nails.
Unfazed by the situation.
Yep, really tough.
Yanks up by 5, 8-3 here, top of the 8th. Full count to Langford. Takes it for a called strike 3, 1 away. Starts off with a strikeout. Langford struck out twice now. So has Nathaniel Lowe. Now steps to the plate. The game seemed like it might be changing a bit when the Rangers got 2 there in the top of the 7th. Made it at least interesting. And then, of course, in the bottom of the 7th, bombs away for the Yanks. Leiter Jr. now. First pitch to Lowe. Taken for a called strike.
Well, there are a lot of things that we'll talk about on postgame. The most important, and I know there's a lot of histrionics here, the most important thing right now is Marcus Stroman and what he did today.
Did a great job. Inside, 1-1. And again, 6 innings.
Yep, and gave him length. Yep.
Gave up 1 run and took him out feeling good about himself. You build off that for sure. Here's the 1-1 to Lowe. Drilled down the right field line, foul. Look, Marcus Stroman is a very good Major League pitcher. His struggles throughout his career have been, at times, between his ears, like a lot of players. But he's a competitor, he's a fighter, and he gives a damn.
He really cares. Yeah, he really
does. There's no doubt. The 1-2, weak ground ball foul. So we'll do that again, 1-2. I know he's not the most likable guy to some people, but you can work with a guy that cares, and he gives a damn. He really does.
I've always liked him. I like him a lot now.
I do too.
I like him a lot. But, a lot of people.
1-2's hit deep to right field. Soto doesn't even move, and that's a solo home run for Nathaniel Lowe.
Well, that splitter did not do what he wanted it to do at all, and when a splitter doesn't work, it's just a bad fastball.
See if the fan throws the ball back on the field like 40,000 people are telling him to do. Soto's even looking back.
Well, he probably doesn't want to get hit on the head with the ball. I think someone might be holding it.
I think it's going to be a souvenir.
Would you give a ball back? It depends.
Depends where I'm sitting.
Well, you know what? Well, here's the one. I saw somebody, and usually I don't care.
Right.
Mike Trout hit one.
Strike to Garcia.
When he did play in the upper deck, in 100 years I wouldn't have given that ball back. Mike Trout.
Sure.
I mean, that's
Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Sam Birdbath. I don't care. But.
Here's the 0-1 to Garcia. Swings through at 0-2.
And Soto's still looking up there. They haven't done it.
Peer pressure does not work on everybody.
I've never understood it. It's a Cub thing. That's where it started. It started in Wrigley Field. The Yankees shouldn't be copying the Cubs.
No, and it's one thing if you throw a ball back for a hated rival.
Well,
There's more pressure. I get that.
Well,
but
and then once it hit Brett Gardner in the head. No, it's not good.
The 0-2 to Garcia. I would throw a ball. He's going to swing at it. Let's see if he does. He does swing, but he fouls it off just past the Yankee dugout. 0-2 still to Garcia.
Oh, starting to use a little sinker now. Does he try and get that split over? Because that's been kind of staying, hasn't gotten it where he wants to.
He's been on base twice. He walked, and he has a single. Swings wildly at that pitch for another strikeout.
There it is. There's that split.
Yeah.
Did you see the break on that? That's a Mark Leiter splitter, which is, as I've said before, is the replica of his father's.
And Garcia is all over the place at the plate. I know he's had moments. I know they're high on him. He had the great postseason run, but his at-bats are not pretty. 2 outs now in the 8th. Rangers have 1 run on the board. They still trail by 4, 8-4. First pitch, low and inside to Tavares.
You know, if you're trying to evaluate this Texas team, do you think of last year was a fluke? Because nobody's sitting. You know, Corey Seager is Corey Seager. We know what he is.
Right.
And Simeon is Simeon. But was it a fluke?
I think it's, you guys talk a lot, people, professionals like yourself have done this a long time. When do you get hot? When do things start clicking? And for them, it clicked at the right moment. 2-0 now to Tavares. Chisholm playing just about a step out behind the grass on the infield. Volpe is dead center behind second base. Obviously about a foot or two on the left side of the field because you have to be. Outfield plays Tavares straight away. 2 outs here in the 8th, 3-0. See if he's swinging 3-0 against Leiter. He's not, and he takes a called strike.
I mean, like Garcia now, it says he's 31. Who knows? But he says he's 31.
Right.
He had a brother named Adonis who was.
I remember Adonis.
Adonis, he was a Yankee.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago, though.
I mean, Carlos Baerga was 28 for 12 years. The 3-1s outside, he walks them.
Carlos Baerga is now a broadcaster for
Is he?
Cleveland. He's fabulous.
Oh, is that really? I didn't know that.
He does Spanish radio.
That's great.
See the home run from both sides of the
He
plate.
was such a good ball
from
player.
Mariano. Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah, one of the best second basemen I've ever seen. Carson Kelly's 2 for 3 days, got 2 singles, scored a run. He's the Rangers catcher. Everybody plays him straight now. 2 outs here in the 8th. First pitch to Kelly is high and outside, 1-0. Yanks 4 outs away from taking the series from Texas. And then they'll hop on a plane in a couple hours and go out to Chicago. The 1-0 now. Off the plate, 2-0.
Clay Holmes getting ready.
So, the Chicago White Sox had such a bad losing streak. What was it, 21 in a row?
Yeah.
22 in a row? Which is almost impossible.
And then they won 1, and now they're back losing.
Deep fly ball to left. That's going to be gone. A 2-run shot from Carson Kelly. And now all of a sudden, an 8-3 game becomes 8-6. And that ball does get thrown back onto the field by a fan out there in left field. Boy, the Kelly's home run, much like Lowe's, was a good 15, 20 rows deep. And that's a 2-run home run by Carson Kelly.
Now, are they going to let him pitch? I mean, I just looked up, and Clay Holmes is throwing.
3 runs across here in the 8th.
Well, they're going to take a minute. So, Mark.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it was a laugher about 3 minutes ago. And now it's a 2-run game. And the Yanks are for sure going to go back to their bullpen again.
And this is Matt Blake. So, obviously, he's allowed 2 today, Mark Jr. He's allowed 2 home runs in his previous 45 innings. So this is not a home run hitter. It's just not. Oh, it's not. I see the splitter. They just showed it. It's just staying right up. It's staying right in the zone. The good thing about what they have done is that they've tacked on runs. The Yankees, a lot of times the Yankees, when they start, they end up losing games is when they score a couple of runs and then they stop scoring in the 6th inning. And now these back-to-back homers by Soto and Judge, which looked like add-on runs, are not add-on runs.
No, they're the difference right now. 2 outs, Leiter stays in to face Josh Smith. Called strike. You know, it's funny. On the home run by Lowe, Soto didn't move a foot. On the home run by Kelly, Verdugo didn't move a foot.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1.
Oh.
Ripped down the right field line. That'll go foul.
That split is just staying up.
Yeah.
I mean, that is his bread and butter pitch, and I don't know what you do. It's not a great fastball. It sets up the split.
So 2 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, 1 in the 6th. They've scored in 3 straight innings. They trail 8-6, the Rangers do. Here's the 0-2. Line drive base hit into right center. Making the big turn and going for 2. And the throw's not going to get there. Double by Josh Smith. And now the tying run comes to the plate for the Texas Rangers.
And
wow.
And Aaron Boone's standing there, and here he comes. So that'll be it. And they will bring in Clay Holmes to try and get a 4-out save here. And we'll step out for a minute. This is the New York Yankees Radio Network.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating.
After the huge home runs by Soto and Judge, Texas has fought right back here in the 8th. A strikeout by Langford, solo home run by Lowe. Garcia struck out. Taveras walked, and then Kelly hit a 2-run bomb. And now Josh Smith with the double, 2 outs. Tying run at the plate, Corey Seager. First pitch, inside, ball 1. Yankees scored in the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th. Both teams have 11 hits. Here's the 1-0. Swung on a miss, 1-1.
There's that sinker at 97 miles an hour. See what Holmes has done against Seager.
Smith at second. Seager. The 1-1 pitch coming from Holmes. Here it comes. Taken for a called strike, 1-2.
Seager 1 for 2, not a big sample size. But there's that. That's that sweeper, and he's added a sweeper. Seems to get a lot more movement than the slider. Seems to be better control with it.
Let's see if Holmes can strike him out. He's got him in a 1-2 hole. 2 outs. The pitch. Way outside, 2-2. Smith off second base. Chisholm playing closer to third now. Volpe right behind the second base bag. 2 outs, the 2-2. Little nibble foul. Seager is 2 for 4 today. He's got a double. He's got an RBI. He also struck out his last at-bat last inning.
Well, he's throwing him 3 sweepers in a row. Swung through the last one. Let's see if he throws them again, if he goes back to that sinker at 97.
The 2-2 from Holmes. Ball 3.
Well, that was the sinker. It was 98, but it was low.
Full count. Marcus Semien on deck. Seager represents the tying run. Holmes comes set. The 3-2. Barely made contact with it, and then the ball ricocheted off of Austin Wells.
A lot of sweepers in this at-bat. Sweeper after sweeper, and only that 97-mile-an-hour.
Hit Wells off the top of the right foot there. All the protective gear, and somehow, someway, the ball still finds the body.
But Posada always said that. I've got all this stuff all over my body, and it ends in the one place where there's no metal. Called it no metal.
Volpe playing right behind the second base bag. Smith off second. The 3-2 now coming to Corey Seager. Holmes looks back, now delivers. Ground ball up the middle. Charging's Volpe. Over to first. Got him. And Holmes does his job and gets the Yankees out of the 8th. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees leading by 2, 8-6 on WFAN. Bottom of the 8th, Yanks up 8-6. Rangers just scored 3 in the top of the 8th. LeMahieu leads off, takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Crazy game, crazy game. Here's the 0-1. DJ takes high tight 1-1.
8th inning is sponsored by Local 3, IBEW, and Nika.
After the game, stay tuned for the postgame show presented by Verizon, the network New York City relies on. Foul ball about 5 or 6 feet to our right. And, yeah, there you go.
Attendance this afternoon, 45,318. I don't think I've been here once this year when the...
It was under 40?
Under 40.
Yeah. Check swing by DJ. They appealed to first. He did not go around, so 2-2 to DJ now. LeMahieu's 1 for 2 today. Has a sac fly, struck out, and has a single. Here's the 2-2 outside off the plate. Full count. So both teams have now used 5 pitchers. Here's the 3-2. LeMahieu drives one to right center. That'll drop in there all the way to the wall. LeMahieu digging for second to throw. Got him! What a fantastic job by the Rangers. And LeMahieu was out by a good 1.5 feet.
Good defensive play out there, getting LeMahieu trying to stretch. And that ball stayed in the middle of the plate. And that's a great at-bat by... It went to 8-6. It went to the center fielder. I thought Garcia got it off the wall. He did not.
And he threw that ball.
That was a good throw.
Yeah.
Really good throw, and he was waiting for him. The glove was down. LeMahieu's leg had to go through the glove, which is in front of the bag.
Well, he does get a hit for it, though. Silly rules.
Well, you don't think he should.
I don't. I know he does, but I don't think he should.
Well, Manfred must be a friend of yours, like the governor, so you can give him a call.
I am friends with Rob Manfred, yes.
I'm sure you are.
He's a good man. The 1-1 now, Verdugo swings through it. 1-2.
Oh, brother.
Rob's a good guy.
Yes, he, he is.
And he announced his retirement like 5 years from now. I always love those retirement announcements.
In 5 years?
Yeah, he said I'm going to retire in 5 years.
He's done everything that he wanted to do.
Yeah. 1-2 to Verdugo. Lazy fly ball stays on the infield, and that'll be grabbed by Semien for the second out of the inning. No, he's a very good man as well.
All right, before I get into it, so have you had a good time, these 3 games?
This has been great.
I'm leaving?
You've made it very easy for me. And as I said yesterday when we were closing out, it's a privilege to do this. And it's a great joy in my life to have done these 3 games with you and to represent the Yankee brand on the radio. And it's something I'll never forget. My kids will never forget it, as the nuns are now leaving. That's not a good sign, I don't think.
They were delightful.
Yeah, they were into it, right? 1-0 now to Juan Soto. He's got 2 home runs today. Can we get a third? 1-1. He's got 30 home runs now in the year, batting .304, 82 RBIs. Hit a home run in the 3rd, hit that big home run in the 7th, and now skies one to shallow left field. Easy for Langford out of 1-2-3 innings. So we go to the 9th. Susan, thank you. Susan will be down the field for the player of the game when we come back.
Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
All right, welcome back. Top of the 9th. Here we go. Yanks up 8-6. Holmes on the mound. Got the final out, of course, of the 8th inning, so looking for the 4-out save. And he starts off with Marcus Semien. Semien 0 for 3 today. First pitch from Holmes is outside, 1-0. Semien walked in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd, struck out in the 6th, had a fielder's choice in the 7th, and got stranded there at first base. The 1-0 from Holmes, taken for a called strike. Well, Holmes got Corey Seager to end the 8th and get the Yanks out of it. clinging right now to a 2-run lead. Here comes the 1-1. Taken for a called strike. 1-2. Young on deck. Langford after him. Yanks and Rangers split the first 2 games of the series, the doubleheader yesterday. Holmes now the 1-2. Drilled to left field, but drifting foul. So 1-2. We'll do it again. Well over 40,000 people at Yankee Stadium today. Yanks a game out of first place behind the Orioles. 20 games over 500. Here comes the 1-2. Grounded foul again. Yanks travel to Chicago after the game. They got a great start from Marcus Stroman, and now Holmes looking to do his job to close it. 2-run lead. Here comes the 1-2 now from Holmes to Semien. Doesn't get the call. 2-2. Wanted it. Taking a look at the monitor here. And, oh boy, maybe an inch or two high. Here's the 2-2. Swung and a miss. First out of the inning is a strikeout. 2 outs to go. Boy, Holmes looked very, very strong with that at-bat. 1 away now. Yanks have 8 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. Texas 6 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. Josh Young up now. Josh Young 1 for 4 today. Starting third baseman for Texas. Yankees defense is straight away. Check swing. Didn't go around. 1-0. You hear the Yankee faithful booing the call by the first base umpire. Holmes now. The 1-0 to Young. Outside, 2-0. 2-0 now. Any base runner would bring up the tying run for the Rangers. 2-0 to Young. The pitch. Called. Strike on the outside corner. 2-1. Most of the Ranger players on the top deck of the dugout. All the Yankee players at the top deck of their dugout. The 2-1. Swung on a miss. 2-2. Young walks out of the batter's box, fixing the batting glove on his left hand, kicks the bat with his right foot. Jazz Chisholm playing literally on the outfield grass, so is Volpe. Here's the 2-2 to Young. Got him! Got him swinging for the second out of the inning. He struck out Semien. He struck out Young. And now Wyatt Langford will come up with 2 outs. Texas Rangers down to their final out. Holmes got the final out of the 8th. Looking to get all 3 outs in the 9th. Back-to-back strikeouts. First pitch to Langford is outside, 1-0. Langford has struck out twice already today. Here comes the 1-0 from Holmes. Ground ball, third base line, just foul. Just foul. Chisholm not really guarding the line. And now it's 1-1 to Wyatt Langford. He's 1 for 4 today with those 2 strikeouts. Holmes now. The 1-1. Taken outside for ball 2, 2-1. Jazz Chisholm about a foot in on the dirt. Anthony Volpe right on the line between the outfield grass and the infield dirt. Langford. Here comes the 2-1. Way outside, 3-1. Nathaniel Lowe is on deck. He hit the home run in the 8th. So you know he's got pop. He represents the potential tying run. 3-1 now to Langford, way outside, and the tying run now comes up to the plate. He walked Langford. Nathaniel Lowe struck out in the second, struck out in the sixth. And now Matt Blake's gonna walk out to the mound. Austin Wells goes to the mound. DJ LeMahieu's out there. Volpe, only Gleyber Torres and Jazz Chisholm not at the mound right now. Yankees up 8-6. Home plate umpire now walking out to the mound to break up the meeting. Nobody's warming up. So now it's more about strategy. Nathaniel Lowe in the 8th inning hit a bomb to give the Rangers their first run in that 3-run 8th. Holmes got the final out of the 8th. He's got 2 strikeouts here in the 9th. Volpe now shades over closer to second base. Jazz Chisholm playing essentially at shortstop. Holmes, first pitch to Lowe, called strike 1. Langford on first. He doesn't mean anything. Got a good lead about 10 feet off of first. Here's the 0-1 now to Nathaniel Lowe. Runner goes. Ball's fouled off. So Holmes now has Lowe in an 0-2 hole. Yankee fans on their feet. Can Holmes wrap it up? Langford's going to take off. His run means nothing. There he goes. The 0-2. Fouled off the plate. We'll do it again. Everybody else is standing. I might as well stand too. Susan will have the player of the game right after. Can Holmes take care of business against Nathaniel Lowe? He's got him in an 0-2 hole. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, outside, ball 1. 1-2 now to Lowe. Langford stole second without a throw. Probably give him a stolen base. Who cares? 1-2 now to Lowe. Outside, 2-2. Check this swing. High drama in the Bronx. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a 2-run lead for the Yankees. Holmes comes set. The 2-2. Ground ball foul down the first base line. Back to second base goes Langford. Outfield straight away. Volpe closer to second on the outfield grass. Chisholm playing essentially shortstop against the lefty Lowe. The 2-2. Inside, 3-2. If somehow, someway Lowe gets on, Garcia gets up representing the go-ahead run for Texas. Full count. Holmes comes set to the belt. The pitch. Fouled off into the Yankee dugout. Woohoo! Drama. Love it. 3-2, 2 outs, man on second. Yankees up by 2. Holmes and Lowe battling. Holmes comes set. Steps off the rubber. Looking back at Langford on second base. The only thing he's got to worry about now is Lowe. Hit a home run last inning. Full count. Holmes, the pitch. High, ball 4. And a stolen base as well. Now, again, doesn't mean anything. Langford's on third. Lowe goes to first. And that'll bring up Adolis Garcia, who has had a walk in the second, singled in the 7th, struck out in the 8th. He's 1 for 3. Flew out to left as well. He has not had great at-bats in this series. Ezekiel Durant came in to pinch run. He's on first. He represents the tying run. The first pitch to Garcia outside. 1-0. Yikes. 2 outs in the 9th. Yankees hanging on to a 2-run lead. 1-0 to Garcia. Holmes, the pitch. Garcia swings right through it. 1-1. Lowe at first. Langford on third. Garcia at the plate, asks for time and gets it. Holmes has now thrown 36 pitches. Came in with 2 outs in the 8th. First and third, 2 outs, 1-1 to Garcia. The pitch, way outside, 2-1. Holmes struggling now. He struck out Simeon. He struck out Young. He walked Langford. He walked Lowe. First and third. 2-1 now to Garcia. The pitch. Bounces it to the plate. Great job by Austin Wells to pick that. And now the count is 3-1. And the Yankee crowd growing restless. 3-1 to Garcia. 38 pitches now by Holmes. See if Garcia's swinging 3-1. The pitch. Little flare. It's going to drop in for a base hit. 1 run scores. Lowe goes to third. And that is a single for Garcia. And the Yankee lead is now 8-7. Wow. So Holmes got the first 2 outs pretty quickly. And now the Yanks are in trouble. Tying run is at third. The go-ahead run is at first. 2 outs in the 9th. Tavares is up. He walked in the 8th and scored a run. Holmes steps off the rubber. You've got Lowe at third. You've got Garcia now at first. Tavares is 0 for 3 today. First pitch of the at-bat. Here it comes. Inside. Ball 1. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 2 walks in the inning. And a flare single to center. Holmes is now at 40 pitches. Tavares stands in there. The 1-0. Called strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Holmes gets the sign. Comes to the belt. Here comes the 1-1. Called strike 2. Yankee fans back on their feet. He's got Tavares in a 1-2 hole. Yanks up 8-7. Men on first and third. Tavares steps out of the box. Granted time. Yankee fans don't like it. Nathaniel Lowe on third. He's the tying run. The go-ahead runs on first. Garcia. Tavares at the plate. The 1-2. High and outside, and stealing second base is Garcia. So the go-ahead runs now in scoring position. Garcia, 2-2 now to Tavares. First base is open. Here's the pitch. Wow, outside, 3-2. Holmes has lost his command now. Garcia on second. Low on third. Full count to Tavares. Kelly on deck. Here comes the 3-2. Ground ball to second. Glaber to first. Got it! In time! And somehow, some way, the New York Yankees survived the ninth inning, and they beat the Texas Rangers by the final score of 8-7. Woo! That was a nail-biter. Casamigos Tequila toasts today's Yankees victory. The family of Casamigos Tequilas, Añejo, Blanco, Cristalino, Reposado, Mezcal, and the new Casamigos Jalapeno. Casamigos Tequila, brought to you by those who drink it. Please celebrate responsibly. Wow. Now do we take a break? No breaks. No breaks. Well, look. If you wanted drama, you just got drama. As the text...